Well, hello, and welcome to the Lost Archives. My name's Owen, and I'm the Dungeon Master for this campaign, the Tyranny of Dragons. However, this campaign is not about me. It's about the lovely players we've got with us here tonight, who I think should introduce themselves and their characters.
Hello everyone, my name's Claire. I'm playing Mira, Dragonborn Sorcerer, half silver dragon, half red dragon. She's a kin-bean sorcerer who just wants to be a spy, and always tries her best. She's currently single-eyed, Mira, but hopefully maybe getting an upgrade soon.
Fingers crossed.
Alright, well, I'll just jump in then. So I'm Jared, I'm playing the character of Jin, resident shapeshifter, or changeling.
I like shapeling. Shapeling makes sense. I kind of like that, actually.
Interesting little mistake I just made, but it flows well. But yeah, so I have a lot of different personas that I sort of lean into, trying to flesh out the character a little bit. So maybe we'll see how that goes today. And I'm playing the persona of Swabby Seabird at the moment, a sort of like a sailor or pirate captain that's currently not anywhere near the ocean. So yeah, so we'll continue on with that and see how we go today.
Absolutely.
I'm Mike. I'm playing Lockie, the Warforged Artificer, who has spent a couple of hundred years in the bowels of a flying city, and which is now currently crashed and is now kind of out for revenge against dragons. So we'll see how that goes.
I'm Ali, and I'm playing the character Lyra, the red-headed druid who's just been locked in a gem for a couple of hundred years, and with the others just crash landed.
Fantastic. Well, our lovely players. We have a few updates to share. We now have some new artwork for our good friend Lockie Hobbs. You will notice that he has some pretty cool new artwork on the overlay, and it should be swinging around above me, just up there. As it comes around, we should be able to see him at some point as well, popping through the new artwork for Lockie. So I hope you guys enjoy that. That was a lot of fun to make that artwork for Lockie. I feel like I don't draw enough Warforged, and I really enjoy it. So I'm going to try and draw some more Warforged. Draw some more Warforged. Why is that so hard to say? But yeah, so thank you guys who joined me for that live stream. I actually live streamed that character art session. Thank you for those of you who joined me. It was a really fun thing. We just had some chill music playing, did some drawing together. It was a nice little time. Apart from that, we've done some Sea of Thieves streams since last we met. We've done some more Witcher 3, because I'm completely addicted to that game now. Completely addicted again, as I am constantly, to the point where I just invested in a Kickstarter for a Witcher 3 board game that's coming out soon. Oh man. But yeah, that's all my updates. Anyone got any fun new updates to share with the crowd?
Well, look, not much to really do in lockdown, hey?
No, it's a good point. Melbourne's in lockdown since we last met. It's been pretty shit. My partner Alice was due to move up on Tuesday.
Oh, no.
Yes, so that's not happened. So that's been shit. But look, we've done 6 months. I'm hoping it's only a couple more weeks.
Oh, Owen.
It's all right. Look, it is what it is. It's been our luck with the COVID lockdown. So, que sera, sera. What will be, will be. Well, I mean, that's I feel like that's a depressing note. We need to have something positive to focus on.
Like D&D.
Yeah, D&D. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing crazy, earth-shattering, and destructive happening in our D&D campaign.
Yeah.
Nah, it's been super chill. Nah, it's been mega chill. Well, I think we should quickly go back and do our little recap. So, currently, we have been following the escapades of the Tempest Adventuring Guild, with some new members joining the crowd. Azure, Mira, Jin, Lockie, and Lyra have been travelling, investigating the Order of the Dragon, and they are now dedicated to preventing the resurrection of Tiamat, the goals of the Order. Having travelled much of the land of Oshia, defeated many foes, and successfully infiltrated the ranks of this cult, the group have found themselves aboard an ancient flying castle, used by the cult as a base of operations. After damaging the control matrix, essential for powering and flying the castle, Rezimir, one of the cult leaders, has fled the castle on the back of a white dragon, Blazhail, with most of the cult who were occupying the castle following close behind on the various mismatched airships and flying craft they had docked. With the castle mostly abandoned, the party began exploring. Sensing the potential that the new allies they gained offered the guild, the party set off to clear the remaining rooms of the castle. After reaching the engine room, the party discovered Sandaisel, an ancient vampire living in one of the upper towers of the castle, had taken control and commandeered the upper keep, detaching and flying off on it. With the castle now directly headed for the ground, the party were forced to jump for safety, trusting in some featherfall tokens to prevent becoming pancakes. After a bumpy landing, the party travelled to the nearby town of Kerwell, a river trade post filled with a varied band of sailors and traders. Taking a well-earned break in the sunken barge, literally a barge that had been beached on the side of the river and turned into a tavern, the party enjoyed some hearty food and drink and discussed their next move. Now, we left off with Jin in the guise of Swabby Seabeard.
Swabby Seabeard, come on, mateys.
That's Swabby Seabeard. While the rest of you were mostly disguised as yourselves, so not disguised, basically. You enjoyed some delicious food, some delicious drink. I believe you had a dragon ale, the Stinky Foot rum.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, how could that be not delicious? As well as some various foods and drinks. We left off with you basically deciding your next move. Did you want to take an overnight barge to the city of Paelan, hire some horses, travel by roads, or wait until morning and take one of the express barges in the morning? You have been told by Big Fat Lockie, the owner of the tavern, that there are rooms for rent upstairs that you can stay in if you wanted to. You just need to speak to his Aarakocra partner, who looks like a beautiful blue-plumaged toucan. I don't add too much detail to my stories. You add too much detail to your stories.
Not
I think we talked about the barge.
Yeah, you. I think the last you guys were discussing, you were basically determining whether or not to take the overnight barge, sleep on the barge, and arrive in the morning, or stay here for the night, and then in the morning catch an express barge during the lighter day.
Well, we could save some money if we sleep on the barge. I guess.
Yeah.
Also, it means we've been moving as well.
Yes, that's correct. And we do need to send word to our contacts in Paelan as soon as possible. Paelan as soon as possible.
You remember Azure took off to go and contact various people in Paelan and basically say, like, look, the rest of the team are coming, but for the moment we need to get started on some stuff. But yeah, you do know Azure took off in advance to go and do that stuff, and that's why Azure's not here with us.
Yes. So I imagine that we're all still sitting around the table, like having our foot rot,
exactly
whatever
right.
it is.
We haven't. No time has passed since the last game. We've just let you guys exactly where you were.
So something did catch Jin's eye in the tavern. Some people were just having some nice games of dice and all that other stuff.
Yeah, you did see some people playing a game of dice.
So Jin will sort of sit there on the table and he'll look at everyone and be like, you know, we've got our good old friend Azure flying off to Paelan. Tell everybody about our ordeal. We could probably stay here for a night, get a good sleep, and get our sea legs on in the morning. What say ye?
Our sea legs. You know, Jin, I'm never quite sure which one you are.
Who's the Jin? Oh, I don't know what you're talking about there, mate.
Yes, exactly my point. It's curious. I like this one. I like this one.
Oh, yeah, like Swabby Seabeard, eh? And you notice, I didn't actually add this in before, but in his beard, it looks like little, like maybe like, it has like a little bit of seaweed in it and like a mollusk or two, like a hermit crab or two, like in it. Because Seabeard.
Amazing. Yeah, that makes sense.
And
So are you sort of like, you're on your way to Davy Jones, but you're not quite there yet?
Yeah, but like not there. Like, there's like little bits of it.
So you just think you want to protect the beard? Is that why you're supposed
I love it.
I think
love
as
it
well,
so
like
much.
with the changeling, it actually makes sense that he could make it look like in my beard there's little like things moving around,
Oh, yeah.
or whatever, like just for fun. But
You can have a little crab every so often, like come out and move
Cool.
around. Not because that's possible, just because it's kind of funny.
so but
I
yeah, so
respect
that's what Sobby.
the humor of it.
So yeah, Sobby will sort of lean over to Mira though. He'll whisper it. This is what it takes to be a good spy, there, lass.
Mira will lean back and just give her like a significant wink with her one eye.
I'll sort of give you a wink as well, and I go, "Get out your notepad, lass. Take notes."
Okay, she does.
School's in session. Yep, go on. What's your lessons for Mira? Let's hear them.
Well, you have to take on many different personas, lass.
Yes, I can do that. Yes.
It might be a bit wee harder for ye to do it. You don't have
Cool.
the changing abilities like I do. But you
That's
can give it
true.
a shot. Give it to
Sorry,
it all.
did you just assume her race? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh God,
No.
I'm sorry.
Unbelievable.
Oh my God, I'm
Who
so
is this
sad, like,
asshole?
This whole
Swabby
time.
starts. Swabby starts like sort of like, oh, I'm sorry. Just-
No, Mira's just sitting there totally nonplussed, thinking that this half silver, half red distinctive Dragonborn might one day be able to, I don't know, disguise herself. She's just like looking off into the far distance.
But yes,
Yeah.
but yeah. So Jen will just for a little bit tell Mira about some little tricks and trade. I'm not going to go to like delve into it. I don't want to sit here for like half an hour just like talking to the basically the podcast saying what it takes to be a spy.
I do
So I'll
kind
just-
of love it though. I do kind of love that you're there just like telling her how to be a spy, and she, I mean, you're not, it's not that you're not proficient in that sort of stuff, Mira, it's just that you've not had a lot of luck with that sort
No,
of stuff.
no, I really haven't.
Yeah, just not a huge amount of luck.
No, that's okay. She is a keen bee. She will write everything down. She'll make a mind map this situation.
I bet she does, absolutely.
And I'll sort of say as well, now one secret, this is a big one. When one of your companions are in a persona, don't go say their real name.
Oh yes, I know that one already. Yes,
Yar, that has happened once.
yeah. I turn and
Or
look over.
twice.
Yeah, I look at Lyra and Lockie and go, "We're spies in training." Yeah.
I mean,
Yar, but I'm a little bit more accomplished.
Yes. Yes, you're a real
Now,
is name forgetting something that you do often?
not. Well, we should explain a bit. My name is a bit taboo when dealing
Actually,
with people.
do they actually know, like...
No.
We've never
No.
really sat down and have a chat with them about anything.
No.
No, you've not told them shit.
Lyra's just a stunned mullet right
Actually,
now.
have we even...
No,
Because no, we
No.
told Talari about what we were doing, but these two are like new.
I told
literally
Talari
just jumped
some
off
of
the-
it.
Yeah, they've just jumped off the castle with us, and now they're here.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm very
Oh my
confused
God.
about this as well. But I have
I
nowhere
didn't
else
even
to
think
go.
about that.
I
Yar,
will-
well,
Yeah, I think we will, on that sort of segue of Mira's name, we will explain the story thus far.
yeah. We won't. I don't think we'll sit here and tell them all about it. There's a lot
No.
to mention.
I mean,
So-
basically, what we'll do there is, if you're new and you want to know the story thus far, if you jump back to episode 1 of the podcast, you can catch up in only, I think, 90 hours of of listening. You'll catch up in no time.
I probably
I don't know.
won't tell them everything though, if I'm being honest, because they're new. I don't know them, so
No,
I'll
exactly
probably
right.
just sort of keep them up to. I'll just do a really brief dot point just to give the viewers at home as well, just a little bit of an idea
Yeah.
of what we're talking about. I'm not going to do a conversation now; we'll go for too long. But basically, just mention that like the castle they were in was inhabited by the Order of the Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Lockie would obviously know more about that because he was actually around when they were like in the castle.
Absolutely.
And I'll just say they're trying to raise an ancient evil into the world, Tiamat. Now trying to summon her back into the world. We're sent there to stop it, pretty much, or like help out against it, like with the horde and other such things.
As they finish the story, he's like, "So you're saying you're in the room with Bornhold, and he said her name again?"
Wait, who?
Born
Born Grey.
Yes, you're in the room with Born Grey, and then the angel boy said her name. That is problematic.
Yes, that was a little bit of a yes.
And then later on, that cat fellow said your name. My goodness.
But I was able to twist it.
I see.
Something else. Yes, we got past those very easily there, my friend.
Yes.
Except for the Born Grey part. We killed him, and then I turned into him. It was a good old time.
That sounds...
Yeah, it was a good old time. I just wanted to unpack that statement for a few seconds.
Look, if I don't put in those key, like, words, I start, like, trailing off from the pirate accent. So I need to put in the yars and other things to keep that up.
No, man, I love it.
Did you get it on the sweater?
Yeah.
Cool. So I guess like for like an hour or so or two, we'll probably
Just sort of take through
eating and drinking and talking about the story, Owen.
Absolutely, just sort of catching them up to speed, getting them into to understand what's been going on.
But
after you,
I will say one thing. I'm not going to tell them just yet that I work for the Harpers and the Bard and the College of the Bards. Not just yet. Not until I know
that's fine.
I can trust them a little bit more.
Yeah, no. I think that's incredibly reasonable. I don't think you need to share that information just yet. I don't think there's any reason to share that information. So as you sort of take them through this and sort of catch them up to speed and go through everything that you think is sort of relevant for them to understand, obviously you two, Michael and Ali, you know what's been going on. Do you think your characters would have any sort of specific reactions to this information that you've now just been given? Yeah.
I think Lyra would, her initial reaction would just sort of be, I have no idea what's going on. Like, none whatsoever. But she's sort of like, she's like, go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead, actually. I'll let you go first. Go.
I think for the most part, her face is just sort of blank. Like, you've got no idea, like, has she taken any of this on? Is she being cagey? She's just like, I think I'm just going to follow Lockie, keep him safe, and maybe, if I can, get my hands on one of those dragon's eggs because they sound really cool.
I'm noticing that Lyra is like sort of this, just like sitting there blank. I'm gonna actually ask her, "Are you okay there, wee lass? You seem to be a little bit pale there."
You can kind of understand. They've just been effectively teleported into the future. It must be... I can't imagine it, actually. Are you okay, my dear?
Strange. It's definitely a bit strange, I'm not gonna lie.
And this is not the setting to update you with the current political, educational...
What I start doing, I start getting things like cups and go, "See this? Cup."
Oh no.
And I pick up a spoon. "Yar, this be a spoon. Use it to eat with."
Unbelievable.
And I just start doing that with like nearly everything on the table.
Amazing.
I think she has a pretty decent grasp of basic concepts. Although I will say this, my dear, that the thorn hornbill has lost part of its bill over the last couple of centuries. The evolution's changing a bit, so you might need to change one of your forms if you're going to jump into that one.
"Yar, the hornbill."
Oh my god.
Is it?
I think we found the name of the episode. Yeah, Thornbill.
I guess I'll have to see one in order to change the form. It kind of goes off memory.
Oh, that's
Just wait.
interesting.
Whatever happened, he said the beak just got shorter. That's all you need to do there, lass. Just think in your mind, the thornbill, whatever the thing is, and shorter beak.
I really wished it worked that way. Dude, could you imagine the things that I could come up with?
Oh my
Hey,
god.
you're looking at the changeling.
I'm a spider,
Oh,
except I've
okay.
got swords for legs. Yeah, it's terrifying.
I sort of,
Wait,
I
that
did look at
actually
Lyra
exists.
though, and I go, ooh, I guess my constant changing and all that might have you a bit jarred there, lass.
I'm just kind of assuming this is how people in the future just are now. Can everybody do this? Is it
I'll
a
be
common
honest with you there,
thing?
lass. This is actually quite a rare skill. Or, not skill. Not your type of thing that you find.
So you couldn't teach it to me.
I point at everybody and go, see all these people? Well,
Yeah.
most of them probably aren't changelings. You wouldn't actually know that, though, because they might be. I've just realized this is a really hard thing to actually show.
What's that man over there that's throwing up? Could he possibly be a changeling?
As you look over, you do indeed see a very sort of very older gentleman with very tanned, leathery brown skin, currently throwing up very quietly and gently back into his mug that he's been drinking from.
Oh, no!
Yeah, he just throws back into his mug and then sits there looking really out of it, sort of eyes half closed, swaying a bit. After a few more seconds, he takes a sip from his mug.
Oh, no.
I'll say this. I'll say this to Lockie. Yar, he's either a very good actor or he's not a changeling.
He then falls off his chair, spilling the contents of the mug over his chest and face as he lies there. His mates all start laughing and pointing.
That's not cool. That's
Yar,
not
I don't think
cool.
he's a changeling.
Well, I would certainly hope not.
What you see is, after a few seconds, emerging from one of the side rooms, you hear this mechanical clunking and this occasional sort of squeaking of metal on metal. And then emerging from this side room is another Warforged. Another very ancient-looking Warforged.
He's just
Covered
gonna
in
clean it up,
rust.
isn't
Covered in rust, with a number of gears sort of powering various components. A couple of the gears are cracked and damaged. Half the face plate has actually been torn off, and you can see the internal workings clicking about. He just sort of like stops and gazes. He clicks and looks down. Target acquired. Requiring cleaning. He looks back up towards towards the bartender. He looks back up towards the bartender, the large tabaxi, and he goes, "Wait then, you off you go. Go and clean him up. Chuck him outside." Affirmative.
Oh man, poor Warforged.
He then bends down, grabs his leg with one foot, and then drags this body outside. This unconscious man. I shouldn't say body. Drags this unconscious man outside. After a few seconds from outside, you hear a splash followed by, "Oh, what the fuck? What'd you do that for?" Oh, damn! Spluttering and sort of coughing as you suspect that someone's just been chucked into the river.
It's awesome.
That's one way to clean off.
That Warforged,
Yeah.
how autonomous was his movement? Or did he seem like he was compelled in some way?
No, seemed. I mean, make me an insight check, because definitely that seems like a very insightful sort of check to make.
Not a very insightful Warforged. Let's see.
4.
Oh,
He moved mechanically, is what you get. As you look at him, hang on, I won't be an arsehole. As you look at him, definitely the way that he is moving about, he did seem to come to, like, there was definitely thought, like, he does seem to you to be a conscious Warforged, not just a golem or a mindless construct. He did seem to have, like, there was definitely, like, pauses where you could see the internal workings through that missing half faceplate. You could see the internal workings clicking away, and there's some components that you probably recognize that you would have in common with him, that you know were responsible for certain levels of decision making and problem solving. You can see they're ticking away. He just seems very old, very run down, very rusty.
He looks older than I feel. Also, he needs
He
definitely
looks like a
properly.
precursor model he looks like a precursor model to you. As you look at him, he does look a lot like some of the armor's not been as well designed. Some of the components have not been as well made. It looks like he was an older model, maybe even a prototype. You're not sure.
Whoa. That was a T-81. Jesus.
Get out.
And banned.
He'll be back then.
I'll be back.
Not that sort of Warforged.
You just see a thumbs up as he sinks into the river, as his hand just runs off the river. No. So yeah, it was. I mean, after a few seconds, Lockie, he begins stomping back in again, sort of dusting off his hands. He looks around a little bit, sort of pauses and looks at the polished wood, focuses in on it, nods as if it meets his approval, and continues sort of moving about the boat, casting a very appraisive eye over what he's seeing, sort of looking for any signs of possibly damage or where everything seems to meet his standard, and he begins heading back towards the room that he emerged from.
Does he meet my eye at all?
No, he sort of like as he moves over you, he just spends no more time looking at you than he does anyone else in the tavern. His focus seems to be the ship rather than the people in it. It's almost like the focus on the ship is so great, everything else is just background to him. He's not as aware of it. Yeah, almost like some sort of scutoma.
I think we've found the reason this place is so well taken care of.
Are there very many Warforged in this world? Are they rare or common?
Varying degrees of rareness depending on how old they are. So the older they are, the much more rare they are. Warforged so most of the Warforged in Nostea were made during the time of the Ruin. And the knowledge to make them has been... A lot of it is not fully understood anymore. Like the techniques that used to work before the Ruin now no longer work in the same way, and that's something that people find very confusing because the magic shouldn't have changed, but somehow it has. So there aren't very many new Warforged that have been made after the Ruin. Warforged never run down on their own, as in like they as long as they are kept in well maintained condition, they are effectively functionally immortal. As long as they're well maintained. So the Warforged that are alive are mostly ones that were not frontline soldiers. Any of the frontline soldiers, there's a few that are still sort of kicking around, but yeah, it's not a huge number of them. And a lot of the Warforged that survived are very specialized models. A lot of the generic ones that were sort of sent to the front lines, not around as much anymore. So I would say that depending on where you go, rarer and more common. So the main cities, you'll often find a couple of hundred. Out in the smaller towns, you'd be very lucky to find one or two. You know that there are a population, Lockie would know that there's a population of Warforged that live with the dwarves over on their continent that are very specially designed for excavating and mining and tunneling. They're much shorter, much stockier, sort of matching the dwarven frame as well. Mira, you would know that the Warforged are not really around in the Dragonborn and Dragon homeland. There's not very many of them. The sand and the desert heat do not pair well with internal workings requiring smooth locomotion of gears. Yeah, and the extreme temperatures make it very hard, like the expanding and contracting of parts with the heat and the cold. They do not work as well in the desert. There are very few, if any. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. Well, good.
Alright. Well,
yeah.
what's
Lockie
he be
seems sort of
doing?
power back into the room and disappear from sight. Sorry, yeah, go, Jared.
Oh, no, my bad.
No, you're good. No.
Do you want to keep going with that?
No, I sort of left it open to see if Lockie wanted to go say hello. But you see,
100%. If you want to
see
do
the
that,
character,
you
you see the character disappear back into the room where he was before, just behind the bar, or just down from the bar.
Well, I won't just now because it seems like he's working, and I know if you interrupt that train of thought, you can sometimes set off a heretical cascade, and I don't want to do that, poor man. So, if we do end up staying the night here, I might seek him out, but for now, I think I'll let him go. That's fair. Also,
Absolutely.
I believe we have some work to do anyway. I think. I think. Am I wrong?
We just
Where-
have to decide if we're staying here and taking the barge in the morning, and I suppose we do have to think about our next move. Do we remember what our friend was saying about their next gathering?
Well,
What, our enemy?
It would have to probably be the Ruinix summoning circle, I think, there, lass. I think that is where they shall be going.
Mm.
That was where the castle's heading before the change of location, I believe.
Yar, that's it. That's the one.
Yes.
You
we
do
have
very
any-
vividly remember that.
Yes. Do we have any idea where that was exactly? Lockie, do you know?
Does he?
You would all know from what you, except for Lyra, I guess, but Lyra would have been told now.
The north?
You all remember that the castle was originally heading north, and then
Yep.
as you, so before you came and interrupted the path and sort of put it back towards the south, towards Paelan, it had changed direction and was now headed towards the east. So northeast.
We could go that way, but we're going to go back to Paelan first.
Yar, I think that'd be the best thing to do, and then we can come up with some plans and see
Okay.
whatever other intel there is out there.
Ah, yes, intel, yes.
And possibly resupply.
Ah, yes, that's a good idea.
But for now, I think we have a nice, warm meal as we currently are, and then a nice sleep on some beds.
Well, actually, Dungeon Master has to make an apology. Dungeon Master doesn't know east and west. I forgot that my map was upside down. West. I have.
So
I've positioned
northwest?
my map different. Northwest. I'd position my map a bit differently to look for something. Just to sort of see like distances. Sorry, northwest, not northeast. It had turned towards the west. So it had been going north, and then it was headed towards the northwest. Apologies.
Go.
Well, it's been a couple of 100 years since I last slept in a bed, so I'm always happy for that too.
Yar, beds haven't changed much there, lass. So with that.
Good to hear, good to hear.
Oh gosh.
So I guess Owen will be staying overnight.
So yep, you absolutely. So you remember that bloody Great Lummox, the large tabaxi, pointed you in the direction of a beautiful blue plumaged toucan Aarakocra, who was in her own section towards the other side of this this large open space inside the tavern. She had sort of set herself up behind a little booth and seemed to be in charge of the inside of the tavern.
Awesome. Has everyone finished with their meals?
I do not eat, but yes, I am done.
As you guys are sort of draining off the last of your drinks and cleaning off your plates, a rope lowers down from the ceiling and clunks against the wooden table, followed quickly by the scampering feet of Gobbo, the goblin bartender.
Is that all? Can I get you anything else? Any more drinks? Any more food?
Yar, I think we'd be right for now, but we'll definitely be back later.
Fantastic. Do you want me to try and save a booth for you? Gets a bit busy here later. If you're staying the night, could save your booth.
Why not? Sounds like a plan.
Great. We've got one upstairs for the residents who are staying the night. Slightly more, shall we say, private area, and I don't have to climb across the ceiling to serve you food.
Always
I'm not too
outside.
fussed.
It's pretty hard to hold the plates in your mouth.
Don't think about that, but moving on. Actually, Gobbo, I have a question.
Yeah.
If you fetch us food and you fetch us drinks and things,
Yep.
are you able to fetch other things as well?
Well, it depends what it is. If you're after a rat, could probably catch that. If you're after somebody's head, probably going to be a little bit more tricky.
Excellent.
Okay.
Wow.
That was,
That escalated quite quickly, but I am all for that. So, okay, not at this moment though. No, I just need 4 things. I need a small socket wrench. I need 5 shards of iron, 2 of brass. Let me see. I would require just some scrap metal and some bacon grease.
I can fetch that for you right now.
Fantastic, my friend.
I'll be right back.
You're the best gobbly I've ever seen.
Yeah, too bloody right.
You see him scurry back up the rope, and then the rope is pulled back up to the ceiling and retied, and he scurries across the ceiling and disappears from view.
And what is this for?
Just a little project.
Do you like tinkering?
Well, I don't sleep, so I need something to while away the hours.
Oh, that's useful. Very
Now, my
useful.
question is, are you going to wait here for Gobbo, or are you going to do anything else? I was going to give you choices, but actually, your choices are, did you want to wait for Gobbo or do something else?
I have a feeling he'll find us.
Shall I organise the beds? We have to speak to the second in charge.
Yar, you go do that. Here's some coin, and I give you some coin.
Yep.
I'm not gonna give you much now. I'll give you quote unquote enough for all of us.
I'll find out an exact amount. Don't worry.
Get a discount from me. I don't use a bed.
Oh yes. Thanks.
That's a
I have
good
no
point.
clue of my goals.
So where do you sleep then? Do you sleep in the corner?
No, I don't sleep, my friend. I put myself into a low. Sorry, words. 200 years. Words. I put myself into a low.
Center of gravity.
No, not center of gravity. Of a entropic state. A low entropic state where I don't use too much power. So my gears will unwind much more slowly.
Yar, these things be fang-dangled.
It's really very, very simple. I start opening part of my torso. See this part here, if I wind it very, very carefully, I'll start draining them. Or ticking on.
Yar, what if I touch this one right here?
Oh, that was not. Oh.
Swabby Z-Beard, can you please roll me a d4?
Oh, no.
I only pointed, didn't touch it.
Oh, didn't you? Okay, then you don't need to roll a d4.
I'm not gonna go and start fucking around in his circuitry.
No, that does sound like a Jared thing to do, if I'm being honest.
Fuck it, let's do it. We're gonna probably have a rest anyway.
Roll me a d4, please. 2. And Lockie, can you please roll me a d6?
So
Yeah.
I've touched something.
Yes.
Swabby, as you poke your finger in and touch one of the internal components, you touch a large coiled copper wire and receive a static electric shock, dealing 2 damage as a discharge of electrical energy is unleashed from this copper wire.
Nice.
Lockie, your center of gravity has been recalibrated. It's now a foot lower in your memory banks than it is in real life.
Oh. Wow. Okay.
You know that it will take you a couple of hours to recalibrate completely after on a full diagnostic.
So as I get
long
shocked,
rest.
Yar, fucking what the? Whoa, that hurt. What was
Oh
that?
my goodness. Wait. And he's just sort of rocking backwards and forwards on his seat. My head, it's where it's not supposed to be. No, it's. Oh no.
This is probably the closest you've ever been to being drunk, Lockie.
I've also put my finger in the stinky foot rot rum to cool it down.
Oh, okay. You catch fire. No. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I mean it burns. The stinky foot rum. It almost feels slightly acidic as you put your finger in it and sweat.
Oh, fucking that hurts too. What the? Jesus. Blimey.
Take 16 points of acid. No.
Oh my god.
No. As a gelatinous cube emerges from the stinky foot rum.
No.
No.
Yay!
Yeah, so, Mira, did you say you were going to head over and talk to the toucan?
Yes.
Awesome. Lyra, would you like to head with her? Do you want to stay with the boys? What did you want to do?
The boys.
Lyra will probably go with her.
Yeah, absolutely. As Mira and Lyra sort of push through the throng of sailors and other dock workers, immediately the thing that strikes both of you is the smell of unwashed bodies, booze, and sweat as you pass through this area slightly more populated by the common folk in this tavern. But you are able to push through without any sort of fights being started or spilling anyone's drinks, and you stand before the booth with the Aarakocra seated inside. She's currently sitting reading a book with a very elegant cover. Spirals of silver calligraphy make up this beautiful border of the cover, and you can see written in common is a title, "The Sea of Lust," on the title of the book. And she's just currently sort of leaning back, flicking through the pages, reading this book with a very focused expression as she looks over this book. She does not seem to notice your approach as you step up to the booth. I would also add that she's quite short, even for an Aarakocra who are generally a little bit on the shorter side. She looks to only be about 4.5, maybe to push 5 feet. She's just seated on a stool to get her up to a much higher level. And yeah, beautiful blue plumage with these red and green markings, and then this large toucan beak with the rainbow stripe.
I'll just stand there politely.
Yeah. How long will you stand there politely for?
He was pretty patient. Does she recognise the book, actually? Would she know the genre of that book?
It's called The Sea of Lust. I'm going to say right now, you know for a fact it's some trashy romance novel.
Can Lyra go try and get behind her to read like the page, like just over her shoulder? It's like, ooh, I wonder what this is about.
Yeah. The booth's open at one end. You can just come around and sort of like start leaning over and reading. What you read over her shoulder, make me a quick perception check. I just want to see how much you get. Or investigation. Perception or investigation, your choice. I just want to see how much of this you get.
Alright, perception or investigation. Normal roll. Yeah!
24. Am I going to have to read out this page to you, am I? Is that what the people want? I think that's what the people want.
That's what the people want.
That's what the people want.
Jack decides.
As you lean over, I'll tell you the gist and then I'll just read a single sentence from it. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Definitely immediately you catch that there is a single female protagonist, and she is having to choose between two men, a pirate and captain of the Admiral's Navy. The pirate is a swashbuckling, roguish gentleman who fills her with excitement and brings danger to her life and treats her as an equal. But he is a bit of a rougher character, whereas the captain in the Admiral's service, far more respectful, but very sort of very stuck in the claustrophobic society from which he's come. And she's torn between these two loves. And the sentence that probably sort of sums it up, you look and the phrase, as the salt sea spray crossed her face, she knew that she would come on the ship. That's what it says.
Well done.
Thank you. And that's as you're sort of like reading this, what would Lyra's response be to something like this? Because I'll say right now that probably this is not something that was around too much when you were a lass.
Back in the good old days.
She's just glad. She's like, oh, heck yeah.
Do you say that?
Something probably similar to it. Like, just
as you
like,
say, oh, heck yeah. As you say, oh, heck yeah. With a sort of a cry of alarm and a startle, the toucan Aarakocra sort of fluffs up her plumage and spins and goes, "Oh, who are you? What are you doing here? What's going on? Why are you here? What are you doing?"
It's a really good book. Are there many others like it, or is it kind of just one of a kind?
Oh, sorry, you startled me a little bit. No, there's a number of books in the series. This is just one of 8.
One of 8?
That's just one series that this author writes, and there are hundreds of books like this. See, have you not had the pleasure of reading some erotic
Uh,
fiction.
I've had the pleasure of reading, just erotic fiction didn't exist for me until a month ago. Yeah, month.
Well, I can thoroughly recommend the Velvet Underground, a library in Paelan that sells quite a large number of books like this, and rents them out as well.
Ooh. In Paelan. Oh wait. Yes. Okay. Cool. Velvet Under. Did you say?
The Velvet Underground.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Lovely to meet a fellow connoisseur.
Lovely to meet ya.
Sorry, did you two want something? Are you together?
Oh, we're not together. We're not no, we're just staying. I'm sorry, I got confused. That's not the book I expected. Sorry. We need a room. Not just us, but a few of us.
Yes, I can absolutely help with that. You can call me Plume. Lovely to meet you.
Plume.
She holds out a feathered wing. Plume.
I will take it. And Mira is enjoying being back in civilized society, so she does her very polite handshake.
What does Mira's very polite handshake look like? Could you describe that to us, Claire?
Well, it's a bit hard because it's a bird, but I guess she'll do this kind of slimy politician handshake like she was taught to do by her mentors.
Oh, the double handshake where like you think you're getting a hand and then suddenly a second hand comes out of nowhere and you're stuck in the handshake. Oh no.
Surprise hand.
Yeah, surprise hand. And now you're trapped. You're a trap. Yeah, so you do the slimy politician handshake, the two-handed handshake. Oh, we hate the two-handed handshake. At least it's not the shoulder handshake where like you go for the handshake and suddenly there's a hand on your shoulder and you're like, whoa, hello. Now I can't move my body away.
Or the aggressive shoulder-to-shoulder handshake. That's also not a fun one. Yeah. Not as bad as the wet fish handshake. The wet fish handshake's the worst.
That is the worst.
That's the worst. It's like, you're just going to hold my hand. You want me to hold your hand? Or no, just hold it there. Okay, fine.
That's it.
Anyway, yes. That's that.
Yeah, so she responds by adding her wing to the other side of your hand, so it's now a four-handed handshake as she completes the ritual, and you do this four-handed handshake. Oh, lovely. And you? She looks over towards you, Lyra.
I'm Lyra. It's lovely to meet you.
Oh, pleasure's all mine. Well, I can absolutely help you out with a room. How many of you are staying here with us tonight?
Well, there's 4, but only 3 of us actually need a bed. One of us just powers down.
Yep, she looks over and looks at the Warforged. Yes, of course. Well, we can absolutely help you out with a room. 3 beds. Did you want separate rooms for the males and females? We could do 1 double and 1 single. As in, like, two single beds in one room, 1 single bed in the other, if that would be appropriate.
That would be appropriate, yes.
Yes,
Mira's
must be.
Mira Silverside has a little bit of a pink tinge on her cheek.
Well, for the double room, 4 silver. For the single, 2 silver. So 6 silver all up just for the one night, is that, my dearies?
Yes, we'll be taking the barge in the morning, I think.
Oh, you could book that through me too now if you'd like.
Ah, excellent. How efficient. Excellent.
Oh, it was a bit of a mess before my husband and I moved here, and we've made some substantial change. Well, I have made some substantial changes since we came here.
Oh, it's so neat. It's so clean.
I try, dear, thank you. It's hard to get that bloody great lummox to do anything, but, oh, look, I do love him. That big fat little cat. She looks over adoringly towards the large tabaxi bartender.
Oh my gosh, it's a bird and a cat. It's adorable.
That's sweet.
I was thinking I'd call them Tweety and
yeah.
Oh, what's the Sylvester. But I thought
I'm surprised that this Aracroc is still alive then.
Tabaxi don't just eat.
Dang.
I just like see like a person who's a bird and go.
Cats have a prey drive and they love birds.
Yeah, they're not cats, they're tabaxi, mate. If it was a cat, she'd be fucked. But no, tabaxi are slightly less asshole-ish than cats. Slightly.
Slightly.
A tabaxi's basically just the asshole taken out of a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some tabaxi.
Some tabaxi.
Yes, well, if you were looking to book the standard barge, I believe it leaves at around 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, but it depends on the condition of these sailors.
She looks across at the drunken mess of bodies in front of her in the tavern.
Otherwise, the express will be coming from Paelan. It will arrive here at 8:30, and it will be getting you to Paelan not too long after 11.
That's
Definitely the express.
yes,
Absolutely.
I agree.
Of course. It is a little bit pricey, the express. It is a single gold per person. One way.
I think we can afford that.
I mean, I'm assuming gold hasn't changed since I last used it.
If Mira pulled out a coin, you look at it and you go, I don't recognise that at all. For a start, it's not made of gold. Yeah, I mean, your time period, gold coins were gold coins. You suspect that probably the value of the golds, like in terms of inflation, things like that, hasn't gone too far, because like the prices that you've paid so far for drinks and meals is somewhat similar to what you paid in the past. But you can see that the coinage itself looks very different to how you remember. There are new crests, new symbols. All of the gods. The pantheon of gods are all on each of the coins, whereas before it actually had the betrayer gods on the coins, because at that point they weren't betrayer gods. So after the ruin, very awkwardly, all of the coinage was melted down and resmelted into new things to remove all the symbolism and iconography of the gods that were betrayer gods.
I mean that they are collector items.
Oh yeah, you suspect that they probably are, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Jin, you've just been given advantage by the chat. Let me just mark that
Oh.
off.
Nice.
So I'd say that balances out
Oh,
one of
yeah.
the disadvantages. Perfect window.
Oh, yeah,
So yeah,
disadvantage.
You do. And I've been given DM's choice of disadvantage by another member of the chat that I'm going to save for when I want to use it most.
Oh.
Thank you, chat. If you guys want to give disadvantage DM's choice, absolutely go ahead. I love you guys for it. That's awesome. Yes, one gold each, and then I can book your tickets now and have them delivered to you first thing in the morning to your rooms. I'll get Cobbo to do it.
Very satisfactory.
Fantastic. If you hand over the 4 gold and 6 silver, you have booked yourselves rooms for the night. You've got 2 rooms. She hands over 2 keys. One is marked with a 2, one is marked with a 4. You think it's probably the room numbers. And she goes, right, well, I better go organise those tickets. If you stay in the bar or head to your rooms, I'll come and find you. Just don't wander too far from the tavern. I don't really have the time to be exploring the town looking for you. Is that okay if you can stay close on the premises?
Of course. I think our friend had his eye on some games, if those sailors are not too inebriated.
She leans forward as you say that and goes, you need to watch out for One-Eyed Pete. She points to one of the scraggly bearded sailors who has a large eye patch. He cheats viciously.
Oh.
Tell your friend, if he's going to be playing with Pete, just to be very careful that he is going to lose his money with Pete.
I will tell him.
Of course. Well, I will be right back. You lovely little chickens stay here. She sort of bustles out of the booth, just folds over one page of the book onto a very elegant embroidered bookmark that seems to be made almost like of a tapestry-like material. She sort of places that in, closes the book very, very carefully, and places it on a little table underneath the counter. She sort of brushes past you. Beautiful blue plumage sort of brushing up against you as she heads out the door. Just as she reaches the door, she sort of like whistles and makes this strange cooing noise. The tabaxi at the bar sort of glances up and goes, "All right, off!" Gives her a wave. She nods and then heads out the door.
That's so sweet. I turn to Lyra.
That was very wholesome, wasn't it? All right, quick,
Nice.
Jin, can you quickly? That was too much wholesomeness. Can you gamble some money, please, and have some really terrible conversations with these sailors?
Yes, I would definitely. While they're off doing that, I'll sort of be looking at Lockie and just seeing how he's sort of doing, and then I start getting a little bit curious. They're gone for a while now, talking to the Aarakocra. So I start looking throughout the pub or tavern, and what games have we got going on currently, Owen, for gambling?
You can see that there are a couple of people playing cards, but the popular game seems to be involving dice. Each of the sailors has a cup and a number of dice that they have with them. It seems they brought their own dice with them. You can see that they each have 5 dice. They're rolling the dice in the cups, placing them down, and then making bets on what all of the dice are in the group. And you can see that large amounts of money are being pushed across and sold. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna hang around the dice one for now, and just sort of get an idea of how that works.
Yeah.
And then.
Yeah, absolutely. As you watch, could you please make me an insight check?
All right.
I'm giving you disadvantage for this. I'm using one of the pooled disadvantages that you've been given.
I actually have one advantage too up my sleeve.
Would you like to cancel it out with your advantage?
Yeah.
Yes, you can. Absolutely. Of course you can do that. Absolutely, of course you
Can I see what he's doing? Just a second, and add. So I have
the help action.
Oh, genius. No.
Genius, flash of genius.
I think does that mean he gets an extra D4? Is it
Just four. Just four. You just add
just
four.
Straight 4.
17 for your insight, Jin?
So is sorry. All right. You just hear this next to you. You just kind of sidle up and hear this. I don't know how that helps you, but he's making music with his gears. He's feeling.
I didn't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that. When you started making those noises, I was like, okay, either something very creative's happening or Michael's having a stroke. And I really hope Claire knows how to deal with that. Oh my god.
One of those
That's
things
amazing.
Maybe the rhythm of that gets me
focuses you.
focuses me.
drowns out the surrounding noise and just gets you to focus. I need a moment. Sorry.
I broke the DM.
Yes.
Can you make the noise again? I'm gone.
Oh, Owen, just by the way, you just got raided with a party of 22 people.
Oh man, guys, welcome Raiders. You've come in at a really good time. Oh my goodness, thank you so much, evildoers. Oh,
maybe
you
give
lovely
them a
evil
quick little
bastards.
recap of just what happened just in that little 5
I think
stretch.
yeah. So currently one of our party is looking to join a gambling game involving dice, and our Warforged Artificer used Flash of Genius to help him, and his Flash of Genius was to make the following noises. Which he then reveals was making music with his gears, which apparently helps him with Flash of Genius. Somehow, maybe it's like some like weird like music meditation thing where like, Jin, you find this drowns out the surrounding cacophony, and you find it easy to focus with the music of the gears in your ears. As you sort of focus and look, you very quickly realize that what is happening here is a very very simple game. Each person takes a turn in order. After you've rolled the dice, you put it down. You can look at your hand, but no other hand. Each person can go around and they can bid a higher quantity of any particular face, or the same quantity of a higher face. They can bid a higher quantity of the same face, or any quantity of a higher face. They can also bid much, much higher or drop out. So basically the way it works is that, so it's starting off like someone might roll the dice, and actually I'll tell you what, I'll give you a little rundown. Let me roll some dice really quickly, and I'll tell you as you watch a game happen, this is what you see. So there are 3 people currently playing. you see one of the groups, when they roll the dice, the three sort of looking at each other, looking around suspiciously. One of them goes, 3 4s. And moves to the next one, they go, 5 4s. And the one at that goes, 5 6s. And then the next one goes, liar! And they lift up the cups, and you see that there were indeed 5 6s. There were 3 4s, 5 6s, 2 5s, and then some 1s and 2s. And there's a cry of dismay from the other two as they start pushing their gold over to this one who rolled the higher number. As he begins cackling with laughter. Oh, you guys are no fun. Too easy. Give me a real competition. Jin.
Oh, okay. Just trying to think. So he said, give me a real competition.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have much gold on me. How much gold are they throwing around the table?
The main pot looked to be about 12 gold. That was taken all by this guy.
I do have some I can spot you if you need.
Yards, that's fine there. You said you need a real challenge. Well, I'll have to join in and see what we can get up to there, matey.
One of the others sort of steps aside and lets you sit down at the table. The sailor who remains looks to be some sort of younger, maybe cabin boy looking lad. He looks over and goes, oh, I've not got much left of my bonus. I gotta win it back. You took all my money. As he looks towards this bearded gentleman. The older gentleman with the scraggly beard who won the round, very sort of tanned, pockmarked human goes,
well, you'll have a chance to win your money back, boy, if you play another round. And you, newcomer, you look like a salty sea dog if I ever saw one.
Not far from it. Just sucks that I'm nowhere near the actual sea. The rivers well, yes.
Rivers are no fun, am I right?
Oh, the best things happened out on the sea.
Of course. You be playing Dead Man's Dice?
Yes, let's give it a go. I don't really know what to do in Dead Man's Dice, Jared, but we'll give it a go.
He sort of looks and goes, oh yeah, go.
So I was saying, as he's sort of gearing up to play, because you mentioned that Lockie's basically drunk, so he's just gonna kind of tipsily sort of wander around the other side of the table and just look like he's really inspecting how wonderful the surrounding area is. But he's going to try and stand behind this guy.
Yeah, absolutely. You can go stand behind him. Doesn't seem to be too much sort of people are standing around, people are crowding around. There's not sort of a cry of alarm as you move into position. Just looks like you're spectating the game. Alrighty. As he sort of looks over and realizes, you've got no dice. Oi, Jimmy! He looks over at the man who just stepped away from the table. Spot him your dice, lad. The man sort of puts down the cup and chucks the dice in and goes, I hope it brings you more luck than it brought me, mate. Good luck.
Quick question. Any of these guys present at the table wearing an eye patch?
No.
Oh, that's good.
But that's meta information that you don't have.
No, I'm just asking for Jared. Jin wouldn't know a single thing about that.
No, none of these people have an eye patch at the table. So what I'll get you to do, as you roll your dice and slam them down, could you please, on roll 20, roll 5d6s for me. If you do it through the roll 20 dice roller, what it'll do is it'll split out the dice. We don't care about the value, we just care about the individual dice. That's perfect. Okay, so as you look at your dice, the younger cabin boy sort of looks at what he's got and goes, three threes. The older gentleman will ask,
5 3s.
As he checks his dice, can I see if he's got any 3s in there?
Make me a perception check. Or investigation.
Oh, man.
Natural 1, Lockie.
Do you have inspiration?
Oh, I do.
You do have an inspiration. Would you like to spend it?
I would.
Done. That is a community advantage spent.
Well, that's better.
And then I can add a flat genius on top of that as well for another 4, 16.
Take that up to 16. You see that he has 1 3 underneath his cup.
Okay, and what was his bet?
He said 5 3s.
5 3s. So you heard it slows down.
As the gears are sort of crackling and creaking along.
Okay,
Oh, Lockie, your advantage has been rejuvenated, Lockie. You've been given one to make up for the one you just spent. Probably because of your gear music. Oh, and Lyra's been given one too. Very nice, Lyra. There you go. There's one for you too.
So what I'm going to do, Owen,
Fantastic. Yes.
because obviously Lockie's sort of done something, trying to signal to me.
Yep. Do you want to make me an insight check to see if you can figure out what he's trying to say?
That's what I was
Make me an
thinking.
insight check. Absolutely. 6. As you sort of hear the music slow down, you think, what could that mean? Slow. Maybe bet low?
Okay. So, how does it work? Does everyone need to say they've got 3s, or can I do 4s?
So you know that you can increase the number of dice that you are betting. You can increase the value of the dice. So, for example, if someone said 4 3s, you can increase that to 5 3s, or you can say 4 4s.
Wait, so could I go... Wait, so I have to go 6 something, though?
Yeah. So exactly right. So he has said 5 3s. So you can go 5 4s, 5 5s, 5 6s, or you can say 6 3s, 6 4s, 6 5s, 6 6s.
But there's only 5 dice.
No. It's everyone's dice at the table. So there's 15 dice.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense. Okay, I've got it. Because I was like, that's just... Okay. So what did the first guy say? Again, No, don't help me, actually. I need to remember it myself. I think he said like 3 3s. This guy said 5 3s. Or actually, I would actually call him on that. Lie.
Hey.
The reason I'm saying that is because I got no 3s at all.
Yeah, absolutely. He laughs and turns over his cup, revealing he has... Oh, actually, can I make my things visible? No. He turns over his cup, revealing that he had 1 3. The young sailor reveals his cup, turns over his cup, revealing he had 3 3s. You reveal your cup, revealing you had no 3s. He looks and goes, "Oh, looks like I'm out for this round. It's just you 2 boyos left. Nicely played." He sort of backs off and leans back in his chair. The young sort of lad looks at you. The pot at this point is about 8 gold. He looks at you and goes, okay, let's roll again.
All right.
Please roll me 5 more d6s. You are up first this time, Swabby.
Okay. So I'm gonna say 2 3s.
3 4s.
Can I have seen these check? Or is
You're
he
standing behind the other man.
Yes. Interesting. 4 3s.
So you have to go up.
I
So
did.
you,
didn't I?
if he said 4s, so now you're committed to the higher value.
Wait, what did he say again?
He said 3 4s.
Yeah, so I'm saying 4 3s.
Yeah, but once
because
he's
because
raised the number,
the value of the dice, which is the 4 itself, you're locked into that.
Wait, so am I locked into 4s?
You're locked into 4s now. You can't go down on the 4s. It is locked into 4s, unfortunately.
So I can't go back to the 3s.
No, you have to go up or down. So you have to go
So
up
then-
or stay the same. Sorry.
So for the dice, not the...
The number only can go up. The value can only go up.
Okay.
That's how you get trapped.
Alright, so I've said 4 3s, but that doesn't
So-
actually count.
Yeah, the older gentleman laughs, goes, "Looks like we got a newbie. You can only increase, matey."
Alright, so he said 3 4s, right?
He said 3 4s.
So then 4 4s. Can I say that?
Yeah, 4 4s. He sort of glances at his dice, looks at you and squints.
You know what? I'll try and do like a deceptive check or something to make it
Yeah.
seem like I'm really
Really confident?
confident. Or
Yeah, absolutely, go for it. And I'll roll an insight check.
so, what should I do? Deception?
I tell you what I'll do. There's a disadvantage to be used by me on me. I'm going to use it for this. I think the crowd would love it. I think
okay.
the listeners would like me to have disadvantage on this insight check. I've got a feeling that they would want me to do that, so I will roll with disadvantage on this. Okay, I've rolled my insight checks. 16. He sort of squints at you, looks at his dice and goes, 4 sixes.
4 sixes. I'm gonna do an insight check on him to see how.
Yeah,
rattled he
absolutely.
is.
Roll me an insight check.
Damn. I'm gonna use my inspiration. I have one.
Yep,
I had an
you do.
advantage, but this is my inspiration. That's better.
Yep.
Yep, you can't.
14. As you sort of look at him and glance, he doesn't seem panicked. He looked at his dice and then jumped to sixes. That's what you get from the insight. You think like he's definitely like you definitely get the sense he has some sixes. Whether he's got enough to cover that bet, you're not sure.
I'm gonna go lie.
Yeah.
Fuck! As he turns over the dice cup, revealing 1 6.
Oh, I've got 1 6. Yarya tried, matey.
You get 8 gold.
Nice.
The crowd around sort of like begin like cheering and patting you on the back. The older gentleman leans in and goes, "Beginner's luck. Care to play again?"
Oh, I don't want to like. Nah. I think that is enough for me, lad.
You sure
Maybe
your
later
purse is looking a little light there, laddie?
I don't want to do this for the whole session for everybody.
Okay, no, fair enough. No, you move away. While this is going on, Lockie, you feel a tap on your shoulder as Gobby begins descending from the ceiling, holding a sack that he hands to you that rattles like metal.
Here you go. I got all the things you asked for. Well, almost all the things. Well, I got the things you almost asked for.
As he hands you the sack.
That is very kind of you, my young hanging friend.
No one noticed me steal it either.
But why? I didn't realize you had a brother.
What are you talking about, brother?
There's 2 of you now.
Oh.
I think you need your eyes recalibrated, mate.
Yes.
He sort of like, he knocks on the side of your head.
This happens to Rusty sometimes as well.
As he sort of knocks on the side of your head a little bit.
Is that helping?
No, not at all, but thank you for trying.
Oh, look, my pleasure.
He
Okay.
scrambles back up the rope and starts climbing back across the ropes in the ceiling. As you open the sack and look inside, you can see there are a number of spoons, forks, and knives that have been stolen. There's 2 slices of ham, and there's also a collection of candlesticks and things like that look like they've been stolen from around town. Like just any miscellaneous metal he could get his hands on, and then when you said bacon grease, all he heard was bacon, so he just put bacon in the bag too.
Awesome. What an inventive little fellow. He adds it to he ties the top of the sack up so he doesn't get bacon grease in with the rest of his armor, and then adds it to his larger sack of armor that he carries around.
Absolutely. And with that, my question is, did you guys want to do anything else for the evening, or should we have a long rest and jump to the morning?
So I will say this: over the course of the night, Jin will gamble more. Just to give everyone a little heads up, it's one of Jin's defining traits. He's a gambler.
Well,
But
I'm
I have
going to
added
get you to roll
something.
me a carousing check.
Yes, and also
He's
the other
rolling a
thing is
D100.
he also has a tendency not to pay his debts back because he's a changeling.
Then that's just going to be a D100 for me, please, Jin, as you do
Yeah,
a
so-
carousing check.
I'd rather do that. Like, I don't want it to be like a big thing that just takes up the whole session.
No, absolutely. I think that's a good way to do it. I think it's fun to have the
The little interaction every now and again,
the
for
quick
sure.
dice. Yeah. What did you roll?
34.
34. Let me roll down to 34. Jin, you wake up the next morning. You are, as you sort of like jingle your coin purse, you notice that it feels a little bit little bit lighter. As you have a look, you can see that the 8 gold pieces that you won are gone, as are an additional 6 gold pieces. But you are awoken. Lockie's sort of with you. You are awoken by a knock at the door, where a sort of a very slight half-elven man walks in and places down a tray of pastries on the floor. There are 40, 50 pastries here. He goes, "As ordered, sir." Pushes them over towards you, and then walks out of the room and closes the door behind you.
What?
Oh dear.
What?
34. You wake up. You wake up in your bed. You are 2d6 gold pieces pour out within the hour. 300 freshly baked pastries are delivered. But 300 seemed excessive. Yeah, that seemed excessive, so I just reduced it a little bit.
So I take it that I didn't lose that by gambling. I actually paid for pastries.
Yeah, that's the suspicion you have when these pastries are delivered to you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. I just sort of, I imagine because I would have obviously had a bit to drink over the course of the night, so I'd probably wake up with a bit of a splitting headache. I look towards the door. This guy's just dumped all these pastries in a bag.
Yep.
What the? What? Oh, Lockie, what happened last night?
Not again.
You came back in. You said, "I am the Dice King." Rolled around on the floor. Asked me if I wanted a pastry. Said they were coming in 14 hours, and then you went to bed.
That's awesome.
Amazing. Fantastic. And you guys can both benefit from a long rest. Lyra and Mira, your room, the room that you two are sent to, is much nicer than the boys. It's Plume takes you over and sort of brings you into a much more lavishly furnished room for our special guests and friends of mine. And she directs you to the beds. On the beds are your tickets for the barge tomorrow. Your 4 tickets.
Oh, this really is excellent service. I'm going to go to sleep because I'm nearly dead. Okay. I need that longer. Oh, poor Mira.
She just sort of nods. Oh, what time would you like a wake up tomorrow morning for the barge? 8:30.
Oh, yes. Are you a light sleeper, Lyra? Are you a? Well, I suppose you probably have had a lot of sleep for the last 200 years. So.
Well, I mean, haven't slept for 600 years and have been asleep for 600 years. It's I am both exhausted and completely awake.
I think she might need a tonic. Do you have tonics?
Tonics? I can bring in a bracing tea.
Tea! That works.
Yes, I can do that. Would you like a tea as well, Mira?
I would love a tea. Oh, this is delightful.
Of course.
Party!
I can bring in a lovely
Party.
bracing herbal tea. I shall do that for the morning. Or is that for now?
That's all for now from me.
Wonderful. Well, enjoy your night's sleep at the sunken barge.
She steps out and closes the door behind her. You guys are awoken by a knock in the morning. As Plume brings in 2 cups of 2 large mugs, I should say, that you can wrap your hands around in the cold morning, of steaming tea that smells very, very caffeinated and very strong. The leaves have this very potent sort of fruity citrus aroma, and the tea itself is a very incandescent purple colour as she places it down and passes it over to each of you.
There you go. Good morning.
Can I just say, can I leave a review? Is there a review service here? I would like to leave 5 stars.
Oh, well, that's very generous of you. The Arakokra Messaging Guild do have a central bulletin that they send out on a monthly basis, advising of places of note. Yeah, they call it. Yes, it's the incredible innie that you can win.
Oh, excellent. Is that like an
incredible service?
Like a trip advisor?
Yes, they call it the good guide.
Oh, yes.
The good guide.
I will make my recommendation in Paelan.
Absolutely.
I have already.
Thank you very much.
I wrote a small summary this morning just before you came in. Actually.
Oh, you're making me blush. No, don't say it out loud.
She sort of gets a bit bashful and her feathers puff up around her.
While this is going on, you guys will hear a
Yes.
knock at the door.
Oh,
And Swabby
yes.
will peek his head in and go, Yar, do
Swabby
you want
wanders
any,
in.
do you want any pastries? I have a lot.
I like to think that there's like a croissant sort of like half tied into Swabby's beard that sort of like
Oh,
as
sorry,
he's picked
I
up to
should've-
eat, he's a bit drunk and it's dropped into his
I
beard.
should have
and-
said, you guys want a croissant?
Oh dear.
Wait, how many
there's-
do I have
there's-
again?
No, it's not 300.
300.
That's just you don't have 300.
Can I
No,
still get
it's-
like, because I paid 14 gold, can I still get like a stupid amount of them?
Absolutely. Yeah, there's
Maybe not
easily like
300.
120 pastries. Yeah, there's like
Okay,
120 pastries. It's just
Thank
piled
you.
up high. Yeah, there's no way you can eat these.
I'm gonna give them, I'm gonna dish them out to the party, and I'm gonna put the rest in the bag and put them in the bag of holding.
Okay. Yeah.
Because who knows when
Um,
they might come in handy.
So the pastries, I will read out the pastries to you. What the pastries look like. So yeah, there's a classic croissant, or as they're known in Nostea, halfling curls. There are a few gnome drops, which are sort of these circular pastries with a bright pink fruit center. They're known as gnome drops. You have Furbolg rolls, which are these massive rolls filled with a dark chocolate paste in the inside.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's just classic pastries of all varieties. But the piece de resistance, Jin, as you sort of like push aside the pastries, at the very bottom is a pastry in the shape of a dragon's head, roaring a red flame, which is actually like a jam-coated surface. The scales have been made out of some sort of icing, and the eye is a single cherry, and it is a red dragon breathing
Wow.
out a flame.
Very thematic.
That's cool.
But yeah, so I will share the pastries with the party whilst they enjoy their cup of tea. And yeah, I will put the rest. I imagine in the bag of holding they will probably go rotten. But it would be funny if we ever get into a particular scenario that requires 120 pastries.
I was
so-
thinking about that, and the bag of holding is a vacuum. There's no air in there, right?
Yeah.
So they might not go rotten.
So it's going to be slow. Like
Oh
they
my
definitely
God.
will. They'll go stale, but they're not going to go rotten because if they're in a vacuum, bacteria can't aerobic bacteria that use oxygen to metabolize won't be able to cause it to rot. So they're going to last a lot longer in the bag of holding. So that's actually a really clever idea. I'm a huge fan of that.
So we just have 120 pastries just to use as we want.
Yeah, you can add 120 pastries to the bag of holding.
Fuck. Not what I thought I'd be spending my gold for, but that's awesome.
I have a D100 carousing table which has
Perfect.
100 options for carousing. So
It's probably going to happen. That's probably going to happen fairly regularly.
As
because
soon as you said that
obviously-
you were a gambler, I was like, "Fuck, I'm going to need a
Yes.
carousing table." So I've combined a couple into this one.
the way I've sort of thought Jin would, he's a professional, like, you know, he's about all the, he's obviously a well-regarded spy and all those sort of stuff, and he's accomplished in that sort of sense. So he gives off like when he's on a job, he's really good, but he does have one vice, and whenever he sees gambling, he will always sort of gravitate towards it, even when there might be more important things at stake. So yeah, so that's what he's going to be, his little vice. And obviously, like, in the course of a game, you don't want like heaps of like interactions or just like gambling. So no, that's
absolutely.
awesome, because I'll just be like, in our downtime, like, that's what I'm going to do, Owen. Let's see what we roll up, or even just
Absolutely.
like little like interactions here or there. But I don't want it to like get in the way of the party.
Yeah, absolutely. Plume sort of gestures you over and goes,
Well, you better head down to the docks if you're going to be catching this express barge.
Okay, but before we do head out,
Yes.
Lockie's going
Oh,
to
yeah. During the night.
going to squeak into the room
Mhm.
in the morning. And last night before he went to bed, I can't remember if Mira had it in.
I gave it to you.
You gave it to me yesterday. Okay, so don't worry about that. So, but he comes in and he's holding something, and he walks up to me and goes, I think I may have solved your problem. And he'll reveal on his hand this little eyeball. It is partially stainless steel, but there's some copper coloring in there.
It seems like two gears that have been interlocked and interlaced with each other like you would find in a gyroscope.
Mm-hmm.
And so they freely will spin in amongst each other, connected by magic to the inside of her orbit. And in the center, suspended on tiny little pinpricks of metal, is the gem that's been cut.
Oh, the ruby.
The ruby, cut and polished and shined into a perfect little sphere that sits right in the middle.
Fantastic. Mira, I believe you now have an Erzad's eye. Eye.
Just on the sorry.
No,
Just on the outside, near where some of the black and scarring from the injury, he's actually sort of continued that black in, so it still goes over the eye. So it's like one continuous sort of just a little tail of it. So it looks like it's still like locked in place.
I love it. I'm going to give you inspiration for that because you have used up one of your Artificer infusions to help out a party member, and you have done it in a really, really cool way, and you've described it absolutely fucking perfectly. I'm giving you an advantage. I'm giving you inspiration.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my gosh, this is the best day.
You got your eye back, Mira.
I got my eye back. I had tea. I got my eye back.
You got
There
to do
are
a
pastries now.
really awkward handshake. I mean, oh goodness, it's all coming up, Mira. Absolutely. And as the eye sort of clicks into place, you guys around, so Lyra and Jin, the eye looks really cool. This red crystal ruby eye mounted on this incredibly fine, intricate clockwork that moves around and sort of creates the effect of this eye moving. It is absolutely stunning.
This is incredible. You are
Mira, the effects of your blindness are no longer in effect. You are no longer afflicted by blindness in that eye.
Yeah. Oh, I've got my depth perception back. I can do my spells again. It's going to be a good one. She's, pretty speechless.
And with that, you guys head down to the docks. As you approach the large barge that has docked during the night, or the early hours of the morning, to one of the narrower jetties that sort of pushes out from the side of the muddy banks of the river, you can see a number of sailors moving across. A couple of people seem to be boarding the boat with tickets very similar to yours. After a few moments, walking up the gangway, your tickets are taken, you are on board the boat, and you can see the people are sort of milling around on the top deck. Doesn't look like many people heading below deck. After only another few minutes of you arriving on board, the captain, this large, heavily armoured individual with this incredibly intricate captain's hat, calls out, "First mate, cast off!" The first mate, this dark-skinned woman with this very long curly black hair, whistles out to the crew, and they begin loading up and casting off. I will bring you across to the boat. What's wrong, guys?
It is probably good that we're going in the day, not the night.
What's wrong?
Oh yeah.
Nothing. I'm sure this will be a very uneventful voyage.
Yeah, I'm sure there's no reason we're going to need 5x5 squares.
I don't think Owen would go to the trouble of making this boat and getting this map and all that for any events. Not at all.
No, I don't think so.
I know not of what you speak.
The boat casts off and begins heading underway. The large water wheels on either side of the boat seem to be very intricately and strangely designed. Rather than being a single large circular device on either side of the boat, which you've seen for a number of the barges, these are squares that are cubes that are hung over the side and suspended into the water that seem to be generating quite a large amount of thrust. It looks somewhat similar to the propulsion that airships use for moving forwards and backwards, as it redirects and flows the water, creating a bit of a vortex, pushing the boat forwards and allowing it to aquaplane. And as the boat rises above the water, you can see that rather than having a single hull, it's actually a catamaran with two separate wooden hulls that allow it to sort of hover on the surface of the water and aquaplane forwards. And you'll notice that the masts that are in position there are no sails on this boat. The sections there are what used to be masts before this boat was turned into a barge. They've now been converted into stools that you can sit on.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So I'm going to walk around a little bit, and you'll just hear dunk, dunk, because I actually do have a peg leg at the moment.
That's right, you do, yeah.
So I'm going to also give myself 25 feet movement. I think that's fair. I'm going to just walk around. It's nice to have that sea breeze again. And I'm just sort of...
I don't think this is the sea.
I just sort of look at you. You're right. Just give it to me.
As you look along the banks of this muddy mangrove river, you get the sense that it's not quite the sea.
I think I figured that out. I was just trying to play into the trying to act out Sobby Seabeard.
I know.
So you can see there are a number of other people on the boat with you. There are clearly two nobles, a man and a woman, who have sort of stayed over towards the side of the boat, towards the back and the side of the boat, staying quite close to the captain. Down towards the lower section, there's a mother and her child sort of looking over excitedly into the water as the child points and goes, Mum, look, we're going so fast, Mum, that's amazing. Yes, dear, yes, it's quite impressive, isn't it? There's even more wonders in Paelan. Wait till you see the airship docks. Oh, I want to ride on an airship. Oh, well, it's a little bit outside our budget right now, but soon I hope I can take you on one. Yeah, that'd be great, Mum, thanks. And otherwise, the people moving around, all of these figures here are sailors who are moving about, making sure anchors are tied, ropes are in position as they sort of patrol and move the boats. And after a very short amount of time, you hear one of them sort of start up with a bit of a sea shanty at the top, and the others all begin joining in and singing along as the boat carries forward. What would you guys like to do? So we know that Swabby's going for a bit of a walk around.
I'm going to also
Swabby.
I'm going to try and join in with the sea shanty.
Okay. Yeah. Make me a history check or a performance check.
We're going performance because it's +10 and history's +0.
Okay.
Wow, that's a
You
four.
You don't know the words. You don't know this song at all. You've got no idea. But you give it your all. You sing along anyway. Most of the sailors also, like a couple of them, don't seem to know the words either. But the words aren't important. It's the sense of community. It's the sense of joy that comes from sharing in that singing. And that's what you tap into. Your voice is fine. Like it's not particularly impressive. It's not particularly bad. You've got an okay singing voice in Swabby's voice. As you do your performance, and you match in with the sailors, and a couple of them sort of look over and give you a bit of a nod and a smile as they continue walking and singing along with this song. That's what happens.
Oh, what do you do with a drunken sailor?
Oh wow.
Yeah, exactly right.
It's like that's
No, they're singing. What's it called?
Wellerman, yeah.
Oh, I was actually going to do Randy Dandy Ho, but Randy Dandy Ho, but Wellerman's good too. I was going to be like heave a polo, heave away, way, roll and go. The anchor's on board and the cables are stored. We rollicking Randy Dandy Ho, as they sing along.
Why haven't we sung that in Sea of Thieves?
I did the other night with Andrew. I did the entire song. I did all 12 verses.
Well, me and Andrew actually played yesterday as well after our D&D game.
Yeah, I noticed.
We got up to some nice shenanigans.
Played without me.
You could have come on.
I had to head to bed.
Anyway, keep going.
Yeah, so they're singing along. I mean, the Wellerman is also a classic. Let's say they're doing the Wellerman too. The Wellerman. Lyra. What are you doing while this is going on? I'd say that you'd probably spent a little bit of time on boats in the past, but nothing like this. Nothing as sort of technologically advanced as this. The feeling of the air sort of blowing through your hair and across your skin, that sort of fresh air, the smell of the wilds is sort of back in you're back in your home, the outdoors, the wilderness, you're back in nature. How would that make Lyra feel?
She's very happy being back, sort of outside of like towns and cities and castles.
Yeah.
And like she's sort of like, okay, this is the boat that I recognize, but she's sort of trying to like get as close to the edge as she sort of dares, which isn't really much more than this. But she's trying to sort of like glance over and like see what like the hydrofoils are all about. And it's like,
Yeah,
how does
absolutely.
this work?
Yeah, as you look over the edge and sort of get a little bit close, occasionally a sort of spray of fresh water will splash up over the sides, and you'll get that sort of misting across your face. The hydrofoils, yeah, do you want to make me an Arcana check? Or I'd say Arcana or... No, it'd definitely be Arcana, sorry. I was going to say there is another option, but it's definitely an Arcana check. 7. It's magic. Yeah, it's definitely magic as you look at it. There's definitely some sort of elemental magic going on here.
I wanted to have a little look-see myself. Can I head over to the bar?
Absolutely, yeah, you can make an Arcana check as well. Or you can give Ali advantage, up to you.
I'll do that.
You may roll again, Lyra.
Alrighty.
Oh, mate.
Okay.
Now you do have, I will add, you do have some inspirations that you can use from. You've currently got 2 advantages that you can use. Unfortunately, because you've already rolled with advantage for this one, that's it. But for future stuff, yeah, remember you've got two advantages that the community have gifted you now.
Can I give her a flash of genius?
Yes, of course you can. +4 takes you to 11.
11.
Lyra, elemental magic. There is definitely some elemental magic. It's very similar to some of the nature magic that you yourself can conjure. What they're doing is they're siphoning water into these mechanisms, and then that water is then being compressed and shot out at a much greater rate, providing thrust. Specifically how this is being done, you're not 100% sure, but yeah, this is elemental magic that's being used right now. Very similar to the sky ships and the sky castle, which is probably how Lockie helps you with this, is that it is very similar to the way that air elemental magic is used to help fly the sky castle. Water elemental magic was used to move water throughout the castle and provide heat and steam, and then fire elemental to provide the heat to create the steam. So yeah, you would know, Lockie, that all of those things were used in the flying castles. This is just a much simpler version of that in a way, where it's just using one type of elemental magic, but in a very new, interesting, propulsive way.
It's fascinating, isn't it, my dear?
It's absolutely insane, I'm not gonna lie. Could you have even imagined anything like this way back when?
I mean, no, we would have been throwing all kinds of metal at it. This is elegant. This is beautiful in a way, is it not?
I think so. I have to agree with you. Like, I mean, I am mostly hoping that there's no water elementals trapped down there, but...
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
I wonder what would happen if you put a fish at the front of one of those.
In front of the water elemental or in front of the boat?
In front of the engines.
A fish?
Wait, what state would it be once it goes through 1, 2, 3, 4 engines?
Probably a very dead fish.
I guess.
As you look closer, Lyra, you can see that there is some sort of filter at the front that is only allowing water to pass, because occasionally the front of these will start to gather up twigs and detritus, flotsam and jetsam, and when that happens, one of the sailors will rush over with a long pole that has a length of cloth wrapped around it to create this sort of like punting device, and they'll push it away, opening up the channels and allowing the water to flow through once again before they then run off and continue moving through. It's one of their roles to keep these clean.
Even better.
That is interesting. Although, is it just me, or does it seem like this would be better with a bit of a repulsion field in front of it?
I mean, it takes a fair bit of magic to get them set up, isn't it?
I would imagine so.
This is a cheaper barge. I mean, that's by no means cheap, but you know, it's a barge for the people. People's barge.
The people's barge, yes. I like it. As long as it's not made of people, but yes.
How would that even work?
People barge, I love it. That's fantastic.
That's a terrifying thought.
Oh dear, I think I just gave Owen an idea. Oh.
Don't mind me, if you happen to end up in Avernus, that's what saves on river sticks.
Oops.
Maybe Curse of Strahd, I could do something with that.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty baller for Strahd to sail down like the main river on a barge made of people. Welcome to my realm.
Oh my god, I can't wait.
So, tell me,
What
Lyra.
brings you to Barovia? I'm Strahd Wodzarovich. No, we're not doing that. Carry on. Just make a note of that. Barge made of people.
Oh dear. Tell me, Lyra, are you getting the urge to spread your wings or your fins, or? Because I mean, this is the first time in 200 years you've been back near water.
Yeah, the thing is, I haven't managed to do either a swimming form or a flying form yet since the gem incident. I haven't quite figured that out yet, but so I'm just gonna make sure I keep my feet planted firmly on the barge.
Wow.
Yeah. How about you? Do you float? Or if you fell overboard, would you just like straight up sink?
I mean, like, I can swim. I have power in my limbs, but I am very, very heavy.
I like to imagine that Lockie, like, some of his gears that are powering the locomotion of his legs detach and turn into, like, rotors, basically.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Because it makes a lot of sense that you need quite a bit of thrust to be able to swim when you weigh so much. I kind of like the idea that, the gears sort of, like, detach and then rotate around and become, like, propellers that move you through the water, and that's your swimming speed.
Yeah, he fully suplexes his knees and then adds paddles to the gears and where his knees are.
Yep, absolutely. Yep, that's canon now. Mira, what are you doing while this is happening? So Jin's sort of moving around, getting a bit of a feel for the crew, singing along, joining in.
Just trying to
Lyra,
just trying to sort of meld in, because obviously Jin doesn't come from a sailor background.
Yeah.
But he's using his natural charisma just to sort of become sort of a sailor.
Fake it till he makes it. And you can see Lyra and Lockie are very interested in the mechanisms behind these propulsion cubes for the ship. What would Mira be doing?
I think Mira will be going to try out a new eye. So she's going to go to the front of the ship and have a look at the weather, actually, and just see the clouds, see the sky, do a bit of shape water, just absent-mindedly on the water and skip a few waves.
Yeah.
Just trying out all of her depth perception. Just, being a bit reflective. She thinks about what's happened. Where they're going, and if there's anything on the anything going on with the weather, actually, she's always practicing.
I definitely think a perception or an investigation check is in order then.
Perception or investigation? I'm good at. Okay, try that one.
17's not too bad.
That's pretty good.
As you begin looking out over the water, Mira, enjoying the sensation of having binocular vision once more. You're focusing, looking around, occasionally shaping water to create little sort of patterns and swirls in the ocean, in the river. Occasionally moving a bit of a large twig or large branch out of the way that you think might cause problems for the ship if it were to crack into, just sort of pushing it out of the way using your shape water. As you're focusing and looking out, the weather seems to be partially overcast. There's a clearness to the sky, but it looks like the clouds on the horizon are rising, almost threatening in a way. This sort of build-up of clouds, promising storms in the future. Not now, but soon. But the other thing is, you sort of like glance down and take your eyes off the horizon. You notice something else. Coming out from one of the side bayous is the prow of a ship. No one else at this point seems to have noticed it, but you do instantly spot the prow of another ship emerging from the canal nearby. You can see that it is a much smaller ship than your own. It seems to be, very, very much a smaller ship. It has sails, so it is definitely using wind to be powered. and it seems to sort of be emerging out in front of you, maybe 120, 150 feet in front of you, sort of just poking its nose out from behind a small bayou, before it begins sort of surging forwards, heading towards the middle of the river where you guys are currently located. My question is, Mira, what are you doing?
I look around and I'm like, oh, I gotta say the thing. I gotta say, ship ho! Ship ho!
Ship ho. Ship ho. I love it. As you begin shouting out ship ho, a number of the sailors sort of turn and look in the direction that you're currently facing. And then there are cries of pirates! River pirates! Coming from the crew. As this boat begins sort of moving up and getting into position alongside your boat. I will throw everyone into initiative, please.
Yes. Oh man.
Fantastic. Alrighty, now, Lyra, what did you roll? It's giving me 2. You rolled 6. That must be an 8-1 from earlier. Jin, 17. We've got Illyria in there for some reason. I'll delete that. Azure's not here. And Mira, yours was a... Have you rolled, Mira?
Yeah, I did 14. Sorry, I forgot to...
No, that's fine. I'll add that right now. Yeah, what you see emerging from... basically sort of crowding the deck of this much smaller... much lighter looking vessel. You can see a number of humans, half-orcs, and a few hobgoblins that seem to make up the crew of this pirate ship. Which you should now be able to see on the deck. Except they've hidden behind, so I need to send this to that, and now you should be able to see.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
a little bit better. Yeah, the ship, which is sort of much smaller, much lighter, much faster, has quickly caught up to your much larger boat, and is pulled alongside, coming from the front to this, as it basically docked in. Grappling hooks fly forwards and latch onto the edges of the boat. One of the sailors who is at the front, the grappling hook pierces through his chest, pulling him against the side of the boat and crushing him against it. You hear a gurgled cry and then silence. As he is basically impaled and squashed against the side of this boat. Now I'll just chuck the... Sorry, yeah, that's them there. So the guards are the sailors, and I better roll for these pirates. Now my question is, what are you guys doing while they are docking? Each of you has time for a turn while they begin trying to dock with the boat. What we'll do is we'll go in the initiative order, but you will each have a chance to do something before they begin sort of rushing on deck.
cool. Okay, so I'll go first then.
Yep.
I'm just checking. So I'm gonna rush here, so I can see the boat. Fuck it, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say, "See how this one goes, boys. If this lands, pick off one at a time." I'm gonna cast 3rd level hypnotic pattern.
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
Very nice. I believe I make Constitution saving throws.
So wisdom save.
Wisdom saves. Yep.
The range is 120 feet and a 30-foot, like, circle thing, radius.
So it's going to be all of them. Absolutely.
Pretty much all of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I will quickly roll for all of them in that case. If you're gonna get me
wisdom
with that.
saving throw, 15.
Amazing. Let me just quickly roll the initiative for these guys first, and then I will roll for Hobgoblin Captain, Hobgoblin, and then the Bandits. Perfect, Mundo. Right, I will roll wisdom saves. I'll roll them as a group, so let's do the pirates, the standard pirates first. Then let's do the hobgoblins, and then let's do the hobgoblin captain. Okay, so my wisdom saves were 8 for the pirates, 14 for the hobgoblins, 18 for the hobgoblin captain.
So the hobgoblin captain's the only one that didn't get affected because it's a wisdom 15.
Okay, yeah, so he's the only one who's not affected.
Nice.
And please, describe to me hypnotic pattern. I believe it stuns them.
So what I'll do is I'll put it in here just so everyone can see what it does.
Becomes charmed. Incapacitated, has a speed of 0. Fantastic.
And I think they just charmed the entire thing. I don't think they can try it again.
Concentration up to a minute. The spell ends for an affected creature if it takes any damage or if someone else uses an action to shake the creature out of its storm.
Yes, yeah. So that's why...
Yeah.
So, okay, so you create a twisting pattern of colours that weaves through the area. So let's do... So I rush to the side of the ship. I look down at the boat, and they're all sort of getting ready into position. They're getting ready for their grappling hooks, and they're readying swords and bows and all that sort of stuff. And they're looking quite vicious. And I rush to them, and I look at them, and then I sort of start weaving my hands together, doing an incantation. So this is somatic and material. So then while I'm doing that, I'll clutch my component pouch as well at the same time. And then I'll sort of send out... I've got to do something really cool. So these wisps of smoke will start coming from my hands and then start going onto the boat. And then it only appears like a little bit, and then suddenly all this sort of pink sort of flowing, almost like you're in a bazaar, and it's all just like sort of swirling, and it's like sort of taking up the entire ship. Obviously, I'll do it so no one is affected on our ship as well. And then it will sort of
you got
like
a
all this
cube, so
this pink thick smoke. This smog just starts sort of going along the top deck, and as they're sort of sitting there and they sort of breathe it in and they look at it, and it starts, sort of making them become sort of, I guess hypnotized.
Stunned. I'd say they look stunned. You can see the ones that were preparing to throw grapples are just paused, arms raised, the grapple hook hanging from them. Those that had thrown the grapple out and were in the process of tying it onto the ship, again, are paused. Their hands sort of steady as the grapples that have already been thrown are connected to the ship, but they haven't fully tied them down yet as they're paused. The captain turns and looks at his men, looks back at you and goes, "Spellcaster, right."
That's so good.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say to everybody, "Yo, get that one. He's the leader. Take him out and we take the rest out."
Absolutely.
Then bonus action to do... So I've already done a spell. Can't do spells.
Nope.
I'm going to give myself Bardic Inspiration just because I really want to make sure I can hold that spell.
Absolutely. You give yourself
and then
Bardic Inspiration.
And then I'm going to actually retreat 10 feet just to here for now, just so I'm out of sight. Wait, if I go maybe here, would I be behind this?
Oh, it's just an aspect of the railing. It's not high.
Okay. I'll retreat 10 feet back and I'll sort of duck. So I'm trying to get like some form of half cover if he tries to take any shots at me.
Perfect, Mundo. Alrighty, next up is the sailors. Knowing the pirates are there, giving that forewarning by Mira, the sailors rush over 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 and begin trying to hack away 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to try and hack away at these grappling hooks. Perfect. The other people on deck begin rushing away. So pirates begin emerging. They sort of rush and try to head into the captain's cabin.
So, by the way, who's the, is this the, which one is the, oh wait, are there like only, so 3 of them are actually awake?
So the hobgoblin captain is awake.
So that's that one.
Hobgoblins, yes, the hobgoblin captain is awake. The hobgoblins don't seem to be stunned, but everyone else is.
Alright.
So the hobgoblins are not affected by the stun. That's what the guards do, that's what the sailors do. Lockie, you're up next.
Alright, so he flicks the sack from his back, opens it up, and his armor goes...
Yep,
and
you watch
and he's going to...
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, he's going to run his 30 feet. I've been doing a lot of measuring. Okay, grab this. That's about to think of. He's going to run his 30 feet. Drop my mouse first. Runs
Part of
30
his
feet to
armor
here.
just clatters to the deck floor before like sinking back on.
Exactly. He's just he's trailing cogs and things. Okay, so I get there. So, yep. So that's his 30, and then as he gets to the end there, once again you see all the gears sort of like lock and just build up tension, and one little gear shoots out. And what's this part just there?
It's just part of the railing. It's just an aspect of the railing.
Perfect.
Nothing too special.
Excellent. Well, he's gonna one of the gears is gonna thunk into that part of the railing, and then the tension build up in his system is going to shatter, and all the pieces are going to pull themselves to there. He's going to reassemble himself back together.
Yep.
And then he's going to take out his mace and bash his shield, holding it there.
Yeah.
Wait, buddy.
Make me an intimidation check.
Cool.
That's pretty intimidating. I think seeing a robotic metal man assemble himself from nothing and start smashing his shield is going to be a little bit intimidating. Apparently it's not though with an 8, because they're all stunned. The reason it's not intimidating, they're all stunned. As you go like bang, bang, bang.
I can give myself +4 for 12 if that changed anything.
You can do that. Of course you can.
Yeah.
I won't tell you if it changes anything though, because
Okay. Well,
I'm not gonna tell you what the outcome of your choices are before you make the choice. Come on, Michael. Come on. Nice try.
Come on. Alright, it's 12. It's 12, so yeah, that's what it is.
12.
Sit there and hold ready.
As you go bang, 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 they sort of like look at you and begin going like, "Ah." Looking a bit cautiously at you as you, yeah, exactly right. There's a sort of a level of caution as you stand there looking across.
Sorry, I did think of something to say.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to divide by R.
Oh.
Oh, I'm giving you disadvantage for that.
Yes.
I'm giving you disadvantage. Unbelievable.
You don't like Matt's jokes, Owen?
I do like Matt's jokes, but come on, mate. Hobgoblins, as you come up, the hobgoblins who are no longer affected, they're going to rush towards the edge of the boat.
Wait, I thought it was everyone but the hobgoblin chief.
No, so the hobgoblin chief and his hobgoblins are not affected. The bandits and the berserker are affected. So the bandits and
okay.
exactly right. So two groups are affected, one group's not. But the hobgoblin captain I just marked one as the captain, but they're all the same, just for my purposes. And then I named him afterwards. Yeah, then I named him afterwards because I felt bad that he didn't have a name.
What's his name?
You don't know yet.
Oh, okay.
You haven't asked him.
But
Hey, Owen?
Name.
I didn't get to go,
Yes.
Owen.
Oh, what's your dex, Mira?
My dex.
Yep.
Like, modifier, you mean?
Yes.
+2.
These guys go first. They have a +3.
Oh.
Sorry.
That's right. We had a surprise for them for some reason.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. What I was saying is that because you guys
yeah.
were at the top of the initiative, I was like, you guys have your round. They're not going to be on the deck of the boat, so you guys have got a round on the boat to get into
I
position
see.
and things like that.
Oh.
Sorry, yeah, that might have been my bad explaining it not super well.
I don't think Mira's on the initiative order either.
Yeah, I can see Mira.
I can't.
Can you not see Mira?
No, I can't see that. That's why I thought it might have been.
Oh, no, I can see. Let me add you again. There you go.
Yeah.
I can see.
Oh,
I've got
there
two
we
of you now.
Oh, yeah. And I'm 14. There we go. Done.
There we go. Wait. There we go. You should still be there now. All right, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're after these guys. Yes. So as the hobgoblins see the effect of this, one of them's going to move 5, 10, and shake this one awake. The other one is going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And he is going to pull out a large spear that has a fork at the end. It looks very reminiscent of some sort of trident device. He's just going to see probably the Warforged is the closest one in range. Sorry, Lockie. He is going to throw his spear at you. This sort of harpoon trident. I'm so sorry. That is a natural 20. I'm so sorry.
Oh no!
So sorry. The good news is if it's a thrown, it's not as much damage as if it's a melee.
Oh,
So
Could I
that's
use-
only going to be so it's 6 plus 6. It's only going to be 12 damage, 12 piercing damage as he spears you.
Owen,
It's not even
quick
that bad.
question.
Yes.
You rolled a nat 20, so it's obviously an automatic hit. If I use
Yes.
cunning words, does that subtract it to like how does that work with the crit?
So cutting words for crits doesn't change things. So for a natural 1 and natural 20 for hitting, they're still going to hit. For any other dice roll, yeah, cutting words is fantastic.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just for me, okay, cool. Then I won't waste it on any crits.
I think from memory rules as written, it is still a crit regardless. It still hits regardless for a natural 20. Like it is still and
done.
I thought about whether or not to have cutting words affected. I think I will, just because it rewards that crit pass and crit fail, and I think you've always got to have a guaranteed success and a guaranteed failure for
yeah.
chaos.
Otherwise, I can always just hold those like cutting words and then like just use them on crits.
Exactly right. That's all they do. Mira, you are up next.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, they're all standing together on a wooden boat. I will just start conjuring a fireball, but instead of coming from her hands this time, it starts to form in her eye and the ruby glows red. A little spark shoots through, curves over the side of the boat, and explodes on the little boat.
Okay, wow. This is going to be absolutely brutal. What level are you casting this fireball?
Third. I only have third.
Oh, I think a lot of them.
level.
I think a lot of them just automatically fail.
I have fourth. Yeah, I do have fourth. Yeah,
Do you have
you're
a
right.
fourth level
let's do
spell?
fourth. Yeah, let's do
Fourth
it.
level spell? Okay, because the pirate captain was going to counterspell that, but now he has to roll. Because if it's a third level, it's an instant counterspell, but it's a fourth. So, I will need to make a check. The DC is 14. It's 10 plus the spell's level, so 14. I need to roll a spellcasting check for the pirate captain. 16. Mira, as you summon this fiery energy,
Counterspell, you counterspell.
are you counterspelling the counterspell? Can you do that?
I don't know. This is one that we've been talking about.
It's a reaction, and I think you only get one.
Yeah.
Can you?
Counterspell.
Because you've already cast a spell. Can you cast another
Yeah, that's the question.
that's the
That's what I want to see.
level spell?
Um,
It's up to Owen at the end of the day.
Yeah,
I know that I'm just gonna have a quick look and see. I'll have a quick look and see if there's been anything on Twitter or Sage Advice.
There's been a lot.
There's a lot, yeah.
My
was thinking-
interpretation is
Yes, you can. Absolutely, you can.
Oh my god.
Counterspell can
what?
be blocked by a counterspell. A single wizard could not counterspell a counterspell that targets a spell he is casting. That makes sense. Although if he takes reactions, he cannot actually cast counterspell in the middle of chanting fireball. So no, you can't.
Yes,
so
makes sense.
exactly right. So you can't. Okay, there you go. But if you had another wizard with you or another sorcerer, you could counterspell the counterspell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's good to know.
sense.
That's good to know. I didn't know the answer to that, but now I do. Thank you,
Okay.
Sage Advice.
Awesome. All right. Well, he counterspells my spell.
As you summon this ruby energy and the flame flickers behind your gemstone eye, it flies out towards the ship. The captain glances up and sees this and panics, this look of horror on his face as he holds up his hands in a desperate act, chanting, and you see a ring on his finger shine with this bright blue light, and the spell just disappears. Anything else on your turn, Mira? That's your action.
I go eep, and I'll go hide behind.
You just, yep. It's that's not high, right? It's just the size of a seat.
Oh yeah. Okay. Would this wall here be more cover? I'm just trying to get some cover, really.
They're all waist high. The whole ship. It's not designed for like carrying behind it. So it's designed.
Oh, and
for-
that. Okay. I'll
You could just duck
get
in.
some cover. I imagine. I don't know. Maybe not.
You could, if you duck behind, I'd say you've got a quarter cover. Same
Yeah, right.
as Jin. You got a quarter cover. Lyra, I believe you're up next.
that her friend has been hit by a harpoon. Lyra is very upset right now. So
Aw.
what she's gonna do is she's going to use 4th level control water to create a whirlpool.
Yes!
Oh my god.
Okay, so I am specifically positioning this whirlpool more than 25 feet away from the boat that we are currently on, so there is no chance of us getting caught in the whirlpool.
Your range is 300 feet, so yes, you can do that.
Yeah, so I'm just
The
sort of
whirlpool
aiming to
is
cut
50
like
foot square. Wow. Yep.
up.
Nice.
It's up to, so I'm guessing I can do a small. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just
I'd
gonna
allow
want
that.
to sort of catch, the. in this whirlpool and just start attacking them.
I'm
Yeah.
more than happy to
All that
allow.
But again,
So,
in a way
Oh my
that
God.
we don't get hurt by the whirlpool.
Yes.
Fantastic.
everyone's just got all their everyone's just got all their third and fourth level spells just going on.
Yeah.
We're reaching that
And-
point.
There we go. So that should be the whirlpool there. I think that's it's very hard to see, but I have got a token for a whirlpool. Actually, let's get a much more obvious one, shall we? Let's just enjoy the fact that you've got a massive whirlpool you've just summoned. Here you go. This looks better. Like that.
Yep, that's 25 feet, isn't it?
Yep.
I have previously been burnt by not thinking a spell through.
That is fantastic. Yeah, I think I've probably made it a little bit big. Let me shrink it just a touch. But that's what you summon. You summon a whirlpool. Yeah, probably. There you go. Nice. So, what happens with the whirlpool? You cause a whirlpool to form. Any creature or object in the water within 25 feet is pulled 10 feet towards it. They can swim away. If they enter the vortex for the first time on a turn or start their turn there, they take 2d8 bludgeoning damage and are caught in a vortex until the spell ends. Wow. And the boats don't get to make saves for this. Goodness me.
13 bludgeoning damage is the first roll for it.
Thank you very much. When we get the boat's just going to take it as you cast the spell because the boat doesn't get a turn. So the boat takes 13 bludgeoning damage. Splinters fly up as the boat takes this damage. Cracks appear across the wood, and the hobgoblin captain staring towards this whirlpool cries out in alarm. Anything else you want to turn, Lyra, or have you done enough damage?
I think she's just sort of going to try on a bit of an evil laugh. She's never tried one before, but it's also the first time she's ever sunk a boat. So she tries a semi-evil cackle.
I love it. Fantastic. The bandits are all stunned except for this one here, the Berserker, who is going to make a running jump to try and jump on. So 5, I will roll an athletics check. 12. He
Owen.
lands right here. Yeah,
I don't mean to be that person, but
go.
how hard would he be at disadvantage because the boat is currently in a whirlpool? And
So at the moment, the boat is attached by 3 grappling hooks to the larger boat. So the smaller boat has definitely lurched and been pulled, but it is still attached to this larger boat. So that's why I had him roll an athletics check to make that jump, because he can definitely jump 10 feet. That's the athletics check to make him jump it. As he jumps and lands next to you, Lockie, he sort of like whirls, goes, "Ah! And then immediately begins smashing at you, as he seems to be in some sort of rage. I don't think either of those are going to hit. 16 and 11.
No.
No, neither of those hit. As he sort of wails away at you, he is unable to do any damage. The rest of these bandits are still under the effect of that horrific color spray. Hobgoblin Captain, what is he going to do? He doesn't like what you've done, Jin, and he doesn't like what's going on the boat. And he doesn't like this whirlpool. He doesn't want people to die, but I think he does see the benefit in having to do something about this. He holds up that shield, that ring, and creates this glowing blue energy that flies out from his hand. What happens on the deck of the boat? A number of these strange blue orbs begin flying out of that ring. He sends out 6 of these from his ring. Jin, you take 2d4, which I will roll right now. You take 6 damage from 2 magic missiles. Yep.
yeah,
Lyra, you take 4 damage from 2 magic missiles, and Mira, you take 6 force damage from 2 magic missiles. As 6 magic missiles fly out and strike each of you.
So-
Lyra and Jin, I will need you to both make me Constitution saving throws for concentration checks.
So what is the? So it took 6 damage.
So actually, he
The,
gets hit with 2 missiles. So it's actually, I think it's actually 2 saves you need to make. A 2 and a 4, Jin. So 10 is the DC when it's not that. Lyra, yeah, your first one fails. So 19 passes, Jin, and then your second con save, because it's 2 magic missiles, I've realised. 19. You maintain the colour spray. But the whirlpool...
Not color spray, hypnotic pattern.
Hypnotic pattern, sorry. The whirlpool, I'm so sorry. That was such a good idea.
Man.
The
Oh,
whirlpool.
that was so cool.
That was really well done. The whirlpool
Yep.
suddenly begins to fade and flicker as you lose concentration on the spell that you're chanting. The hobgoblin captain is then going to make the jump as well. That's probably a bit far for him to go. I will make an athletics check. Yeah, he easily makes that as he jumps across and lands on the prow of the ship. Looking towards one of the sailors. Jin, you are up next.
Okay. So, how's our mate Lockie looking?
Oh,
He's
Lockie's taken 1 or 2 hits, but he's looking okay, I think.
Alright. So, is the hobgoblin wearing any armor?
He seems to
Oh, I
be
know.
wearing this sort of patchwork mix of leathers and chain.
It's alright, I can't do what I was thinking anyway. Okay, so I got hit. Okay, what I'm gonna do is this barbarian here.
Mhm.
I'm gonna just smack him in the back.
Eldritch Blast,
Yes, but before I do that, I'm gonna drop.
Hexblade's Curse.
Actually, no, I wouldn't use it on him. I'm gonna use it. Is this like all the hobgoblins the same, or is this guy like
This guy's wearing a
definitely, like,
captain's hat.
All right, so I'm gonna Hexblade's Curse him. But
Mhm.
to do that, I need to be within 30 feet. 60 feet. Oh wait, no. 65 feet. Oh, I can't actually possibly do it this turn. I'm just gonna leave it for now. Actually, I'm gonna do a bardic inspiration for Lockie.
Mhm.
Oh wait. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, bardic inspiration for Lockie.
Yep.
So I have one and Lockie has one. And then I'm just gonna smack someone in the face with Eldritch Blast. I'm gonna go for the barbarian though.
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. So first, does a 12 hit him?
12 does not hit him as the Eldritch Blast flies over his head.
Alright, second beam. 11 misses as well, take it.
It does. Yeah.
Obviously.
As it flies over his head. No, 11 hits. No.
Fuck.
Yeah, as it just flies over his head. Sort of the rocking of the ship and the sudden appearance and disappearance of the whirlpool throwing off your aim. Anything else on your turn, Jin?
I'm gonna come over here where this guy's sort of standing and use. Is this actually like a thing?
It's a seat. It's like a circuit. It used to be the mast of the ship when it used to be an ocean-going ship with sails, but it's been hacked off, and now it's just a stool. People consider
Alright.
it a stool.
Well, I'm gonna use it as cover anyway. I'm gonna hide behind it.
Okay, you've got just a quarter cover behind it.
Alright. Whatever I can get.
The sailors.
yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
My
Was there
turn.
anything else?
Nah, that's it.
One of the sailors who's carrying behind the thing with you looks and goes, "Where do these pirates come from?" He looks terrified. This sailor is going to rush 5, 10, and begin trying to hack off the grappling hook. He is successful as he destroys the grappling hook, cuts the rope, and the grappling hook falls dead into the water. This one is going to make a swing against the hobgoblin captain. He misses completely. And the hobgoblin captain sort of dances around him, sort of laughing. "Give me a real fight, boyo." Lockie, you're up next.
Okay. So I was really hoping that my friend's whirlpool would go well, and it did for a little bit. It's moved it.
Whirlpool.
The whirlpool, but unfortunately it faded away. So he will look at it and go, been better before, but I'm going to do it anyway. And he's going to cast. Okay, I'll need your reckoning on this. What would happen if I cast Reduce on the boat?
Reduce on the boat. Let's have a quick look. Reduce.
throw
It's
it
been a
up
while
if you want.
since. I told you I've got it open now. D&D Beyond. Enlarge Reduce. An object. Yep. Creature object that's not worn nor carried. Yep, I'd say that's fine. I would say you can cast it on the boat. It doesn't say that it's not being worn or carried. It is an object that you can see within range. Yeah, you can halve it. Absolutely.
It says in all dimensions, so it's both as well.
Yeah,
Go
absolutely.
to-
Let me shrink the boat down as these guys get tipped into the water. So I'll actually just halve it on the screen.
Okay. So how this one happens?
So to halve in the middle like that. So these guys are overboard. Yeah.
So how it happens is he'll have on his palms just little cogs set inside, and he sort of throws them out in front of him, and they will shoot out, and then a little electric current just dances between all the cogs that have gotten around the edges of the boat, and it all just pulls each other and shrinks it, and pulls it in a little bit.
I just realised the boat would shrink towards the grappling hooks because they are providing an anchor to the main boat, so it would shrink in that direction, which means this guy, and this guy are definitely overboard. This one, I'm going to give him a dexterity. He fails the dexterity saving throw. He's overboard as well. The boats are moving forwards at quite a fast pace. These guys move off screen 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40.
Oh, please tell me one of
45.
them's gone through the engines.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Nah, he's sort of going underneath, which will give him a chance to make another dex save to try and grapple onto this thing.
Would it not draw the water in a cone in front of it?
Yeah, but the thing at front, there's a filter at the front that just doesn't allow things to go in, remember?
That's right. We did discuss this.
Yeah, I know we did.
Owen, would you arguably say that now that they've been dunked in the water, that's technically rousing them out of the stupor?
I would say they're not taking damage.
It does
Or-
specify someone else needs to use an action to shake the creature out of a stupor. They've also just fallen into water.
Into
so
water, yeah.
I'm going to leave it up to you how you want to rule that.
I'm
And they may not.
thinking probably I will rule
That's pretty-
that it
that'd be
does
pretty brutal
break
if they did.
the spell, but not before
could
they are
rule it.
swept. Yeah, I think I'll rule that they are woken from the stupor by being plunged into freezing water, but not enough to make that dexterity saving. So these guys didn't get a dex save because they were still affected by the spell, and that's why they just went straight overboard with no dex save at all. Yeah, very nicely done, Lockie. That was very well done. As the boat just shrinks right down. What would you like to do, Lockie? Any bonus actions?
I do have a. Oh, actually, you know what? I'll do? I will spend my bonus action to. Oh, man, new character, who does? To do the. I think we get 7 points of health.
Mhm.
For my. Here we go. Oh yeah, bonus 17. Okay, cool. Yeah. So just he will spin up, and a little defensive field just starts vibrating just off the edge. So I gain 7 temporary hit points.
Absolutely. The hobgoblins are next. This one's going to make another dex save in the water. That's a natural fucking 1.
Wow.
I haven't got any advantages either. As he smashes his head against the engine, he is knocked partially stunned, and he is face down in the water.
Yeah, it's rough.
At the end of his turn, he is swept a further 45 feet downstream. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. 45. Mira. There is another hobgoblin, the one that's still on this boat here. Man, there's been a lot of shit going down. He's going to throw another spear at you, Lockie. I think realizing that there's some shit going down here with the boat. So he's going to make a shot against you. Sorry, just get that back in. There does a... No, I'm guessing a 14 definitely does not hit you.
Nah, deflects off his shield. Sees it coming and.
So yeah, the harpoon just into the wood beneath your feet. He is then going to move 5, 10, 15 towards the edge of the grappling hooks. And he's going to attempt to try and reel the boat towards the main boat. But he can't do anything left on this turn. Mira.
Okay, we're going to cast. Gonna come forward.
Mhm.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Full movement, and then I'm pretty sure, because I was working this out. Oh no, my maths is wrong. Oh no.
Oh no.
Anyone holding the grappling hooks at the moment on the top deck? Any of the pirates?
No one's holding the grappling hooks at the moment.
Okay, alrighty. In that
Unless
case,
you count the dead body that's got a grappling hook embedded in it.
No, didn't quite. No, didn't count that one. No. I will instead. But I can't. Oh well, fireball it is.
Where are you centering this?
Okay, so fireball is a big old boy spell. So I think it's 60, 20-foot radius. I'm going to do it at the back of the boat so that it might spread. Yep. Not too close to the engines. Maybe more in the middle. I'm going to try and get the ropes. Yeah.
Oh, so like there, for example.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%. So in this case, there are two people who are absolutely affected by this. I will roll for them right now. Dex saves.
It is a dex save of DC 15.
Can the bandit make the roll?
No, he can't. So it's only one person who's making the roll, and they failed. The hobgoblin failed his roll. He only rolled a 14. You better roll me some damage, Mira.
I will happily roll some damage.
And that's going to affect the boat and the ropes. Yep. Oh, wow. 24. The ropes are instantly snapped. Oh, not that one. Sorry. The ropes are instantly snapped by this display of magic that shoots out. The ropes are, they immediately catch fire. The hobgoblin underneath is burnt and damaged. The bandit is incinerated.
Oh,
Yeah.
The boat, 24 damage to the boat. It had already taken.
and it's
14.
You watch as the boat splits in half as it is burnt and incinerated. The hobgoblin who was left is dropped into the drink, immediately pushing him 45 feet as he smashes into the engine. I better quickly roll some damage for him. He's actually dead from that. That is enough to kill him.
Wow.
This bandit, 5,
So it's
10,
like
15, 20, 25, 30, 35, he smashes into it as well.
Oh.
It's essentially the same as falling 45 feet into this thing. It's a massive metal cage.
Yeah.
He is knocked to the side, taking quite a bit of damage, but not enough to kill him. The rest of these guys are also swept. Oh no, on their turn they'll be swept further. It's just the ones who immediately under the water get swept. This hobgoblin should have been swept 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, even further downstream. Wow. Anything else on your turn, Mira? That was incredibly well done.
Mira's ruby eye just kind of glints when she smiles.
Amazing. Lyra, you're up next. There's only one pirate there's two pirates on the boat. The rest are all burnt alive or in the drink.
Alright, I think Lyra's going to go... 1, 2, 3... Yeah, there's a good spot. And she's just gonna do a good old thorn whip on pirate number 1.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
thorn whip.
believe that is an attack roll. 23 is definitely going to hit. I'm guessing you pull him closer, or...
Yep. Yeah. Give Lockie a bit of a break.
10 piercing damage, you pull him 10 closer, which does technically activate Lockie's reaction.
It's force movement though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
it is, yeah, sorry, you're
it's
right, it is
force
force
movement,
movement,
so
you're
no
right,
opportunity.
right. Apologies. Anything else in your turn, Lyra?
No, she's good.
Sweet as. The bandits in the water get swept 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 feet downstream. As they
Is that other bandit like caught in like the capture part of the engine?
No, so he smashed into it and was spun off to the side and is now disappearing rapidly.
No, the one that died.
Oh, the body, yeah. It's basically like stuck in a. Let me put it down for you. Absolutely. You will see
that could be
You
bad
sicko.
actually.
There we go. You see the dead body of the hobgoblin is sort of like tangled limbs is partially captured into the edge here, not obstructing it, but is definitely caught on the suction flow. The hobgoblin captain, sensing things are not going his way, is going to cast a spell from his ring on himself, and then he's going to jump off the side of the boat, invoking an opportunity attack from this guard, who actually does hit him for 4 damage. And he begins running along the surface of the water using his ring to cast Water Walk.
Oh, I was gonna counterspell that. Actually.
Oh, you can counterspell that as he jumps off the boat. Of course you can. That is instantly counterspelled. As he jumps off the boat with this spell, you watch as he jumps into the water and just expecting to land. As he sort of, because I did describe him running, jumping and casting the spell. So as he is in midair and goes to cast this spell, you counterspell, and he drops into the water feet first and is swept 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 feet alongside the boat, smashing along the hull, I might add, as well, which is going to deal a little bit of damage to him. Wow. Jin, you're up next. There's only one dude on the boat, and he looks around in confusion, suddenly realizing that his whole band of pirates is gone, and his captain's just yeeted himself into the water.
All right, so I'm gonna move. Over here. I'm just gonna stay there for now. Just want to check. Cool. All right, so that guy there could still be an issue.
I would say that these guys in the water, like, you can't see them from on the boat. You're gonna have to get to the side of the boat to be able to see them, because they are currently, like, these guys out off the side of the ship, much easier to see. But the guys who are right up close to the ship, because the ship is aquaplaning on top of the water, it is quite high up. So it is going to be quite hard to sort of see over the edge. I'd say you could see this one from where you are there, but this guy here is right against the side of the ship and underneath the sides. I'd say it's very hard to see him. This one here you can see from where you are there, definitely.
Let's go back. Just trying to. All right, I'm gonna do it. I'm actually going to use dash to get here, so I can see that guy.
As you lean and look over, you can see him floundering, sputtering, attempting to sort of climb his way to the side of the ship, but being battered by the waves and the speed of the boat. No. That's okay. And what would you like to hex? Which one?
I'm going to drop my not heavy. Oh, sorry. I'm going to go Dex.
Dex.
You've been doing Dex.
Absolutely.
So he's going to have disadvantage on Dex saves.
Or not saves, Dex ability checks, yeah.
Yeah, just in case he does try to do anything like that.
Yeah, so
the saves,
acrobatics checks.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
anything else on your turn, Jin?
Yeah, I will use my free action to say this barbarian. Arr, my friend. Seems all your other mates have went overboard. You lay down your axes, or you jump over to take what you want, your matey.
The sailors are going to move up, crying out, like, yeah, we've got him! Like, celebrating, somewhat prematurely. They're going to rush around this guy and begin wailing on him with their spears.
Oh my god! I tried
to... They actually do a little bit of damage there. Well, these pirates came and killed one of their friends. Like, someone they've been sailing with for years. Yeah, they actually do a little bit of damage. That's 11 piercing damage for both of them. Lockie, you're up next.
Alright. He will be like, well, you can either capture him or kill him. Doesn't really worry me. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to help. So he's just going to walk up behind, and I'm just going to grapple him. So
absolutely, make me a strength check.
Clamp down. Now it says on my what's he call here? Sorry,
your armor smithing.
my armor for... Yes, the specific type of armor that I've taken allows me to put my intelligence on top of... Sorry, let me just find it. Is it instead of on top of? That's what I want to do, because it's one extra.
The down bottom.
The down bottom?
Yeah. Advantage. Oh no, come on.
That's something, sorry. Still learning this character.
I think from memory it's added too. You can use your intelligence in addition.
Yeah.
Yeah, add
You can add your intelligence. Yeah.
modifier. Okay, so
Exactly right, that's what I thought it said as well.
I'll still check and then add another +4.
Yeah.
What was that one? That was a 17 +4.
17. 21. I will roll. He is grappled.
Cool.
As you come up behind and just whip your arms around him and lock him in this headlock, he begins sort of struggling like, "Oi, let me go! Let me go!" Yeah, Lockie. Let me go! Let me out of here! As you Lockie him in a headlock.
I cannot do that, my friend. You have been restrained.
Nice. Hobgoblins. There's nothing these guys can do. The ones that are in the water are swept off screen as the water pushes them away. There's nothing they can do to prevent this now. In fact, at this point, I don't think there's anything any of these guys can do. I'll roll a dex check just for the Hobgoblin Captain to see, but we might be actually out of it. Yeah, I rolled a 4. He is just swept past the boat. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. I'll roll another one just to see if he does have a chance to grapple on. No, so that's a 9. He's off. All of these guys are just swept away in the current as the boat continues forwards, and you guys are out of initiative. With this guy headlocked, and the guards around him holding spears at him, he will surrender. He drops his weapons and goes, "I'm sorry! I surrender! Please don't kill me! Please don't kill me!" I will take us out of initiative, and we will pick up the outcome of that next session.
Yes.
Thank you so much, everybody, for coming and joining us. That was an amazing session. Oh man, that was I loved all the RP at the Sunken Barge. That was fantastic. Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming and joining us. We will be back next Wednesday for some more Rise of Tiamat in the Tyranny of Dragons campaign. We really appreciate you guys coming and joining us. It's always lovely having a nice live audience, and thank you for spending your channel points to give the party advantage and disadvantage. We really appreciate it as well. Thank you so much, everybody, to you guys, the players. It's so lovely to have you guys here for D&D, and thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Owen.
Yeah,
My
absolutely.
pleasure.
Thank you for
Alrighty,
an awesome session.
With that, we will head out. Stay safe, stay well, everybody, and we will see you all super soon. Farewell.
Melbourne.
See you guys.
Stay safe, Melbourne. Bye, guys. Bye.
Bye.